I forgot the word halfway.
We're going to be here a while. It's CONSCIENCE, so it's conscience, basically, is what conscience is.
You ready, skinny jeans?
Bring the pain.
Bringing the pain!
Oh, jeez. Man.
Kevin, Virginia, and Jason are live on 97.9 WRMF and the KVJ Show app.
It's time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ Show to start your morning.
Kevin is the host.
And his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast. So don't get her pissed. Jason talks like a spaz. And he loves to talk about Bigfoot and stacks. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ Show.
Well, hello. Welcome to Tuesday here at the KVJ Show. We're back at full strength. Got everybody back here today. Welcome back, Bird.
It's good to be back.
Yes.
How you feeling?
I feel better. My voice is at talking. Well, we're able to talk. I just think if I try to raise my volume, it could go out at any second.
So you're going to be a calm voice today, huh?
So hard.
Okay. All right.
No sing-songy Bird?
I'm in a great mood.
Yeah.
If
You just can't, use your voice too much.
if it sounds like I'm somber, I'm not.
Okay. It's not that you're weeping and you've got a tear in your voice.
I'm very jovial. I'm
Okay.
happy.
All right. Need to get you some hot tea.
I've been drinking that.
Okay.
And I didn't really talk at all yesterday, and that is a challenge for myself. Even when I'm by myself, I talk to myself.
Well, we got Suits back as well today. So he's back from his big NASCAR doings, went to the Daytona 500. So
Fancy.
yeah. So everybody is back here today. So we're going to get at it today. Lots of good stuff going to be coming up, including some tickets for the Rib Roundup Music Festival that is going to be coming up here in just about a couple weeks. March 2nd, that is going to be going down at the Coral Sky Amphitheater. Got tickets for Dave Matthews Band, too. He's going to be coming in July like he always does, so we'll give you the hookups on that coming up today.
It's the KVJ
Dirt of the day.
It's the KVJ
Dirt of the day.
Virginia, take it away.
Because you know we need that dirt of the day.
Is this our new dirt bed?
Yeah, that's it. We own this, bitch.
Oh, this makes me want to dance when you're doing the dirt.
It does, yeah.
Did you guys
Kinda
play
like
this
it.
yesterday?
We had a different one yesterday that we had to get rid of. It
We had a
was-
different awkward transition yesterday.
Yeah.
This bed is kind of comical.
Yeah. That's all right. We'll keep trying them out. We'll keep trying them out.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. We just might have to change the whole concept of how we kick this thing off. All right. We're working on it.
Coming up in a second, I will let you hear what it sounds like. I guess Sarah Silverman went in for her first waxing ever. Really? Wow, her first one. Okay. Before we get into that, a Colorado girl is brilliant. Did you see this Girl Scout who put pictures up on Facebook? She took the Samoas and made them Momoas with a shirtless picture of Jason Momoa. Oh.
People were hating on the kid. I'm like, don't hate the player, hate the game. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome idea. Of course you're going to sell more. Who doesn't love Jason Momoa shirtless? Guy's hot.
Mm-hmm. He's too much man for you, though.
He is too much man for me. But I can sit back and appreciate him and go, I don't have what it takes.
I don't have what it takes.
I don't have what it takes.
You're not in that league?
I'm not in his league. I couldn't even come close, but I can sit back and admire.
It's actually kind of a relieving feeling when you know you're just not good enough.
I couldn't do it.
Okay.
Travis Scott has a funny little clip here. So he's on stage performing in Kansas City. Whoops, accidentally thanks St. Louis.
Oh, it happens. Pretty much the same, right? Oh, I couldn't even hear anything.
I know,
neither.
it's not the best audio.
Yeah.
Muffled.
And it's auto-tuned, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Are you excited? The Jonas Brothers have announced they're working on a reunion.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
They will be dropping the word brothers from their name and just go by Jonas.
Oh, that's so trendy in 2019.
And it's mature.
Wow.
And finally here, Sarah Silverman getting her first waxing ever. Wow. I mean, I think
Girl must have been hairy.
she's talked about how she's hairy.
She is.
But usually when you're hairy, you go and you start to like get on it quicker in life. You don't wait till you're.
Yes. That's right.
Here she is, and here's what it sounded like.
This is a sensation. These are messages going from my brain to my hot. You know what? That was not bad. Oh, Oklahoma, where the.
All right, do you want it tighter?
What does that mean? I mean, yes.
I mean, yes.
It was a slow day for viral.
And that's what's going on in your dirt of the day.
All righty, coming up here in just a couple minutes, we're going to find out what is on Jbird's mind.
Looking for what's going on in South Florida? Sign up for our KVJ e-blast and stay connected.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What's on your mind?
Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
All right, Jbird, what you got on your mind today?
Well, like you were talking about when you were sick, it's a good day to watch stuff. You know, you're just laying in bed, and I watch a lot of weird stuff on YouTube. There's a lot of odd stuff on there. That's why I like it. And there is this thing called creep catchers. Now, it's basically the low budget to catch a predator. It's these guys that solicit online. They act like they're underage kids, and they get these creepos to take the bait, and then they meet them. And basically, they'll have them meet at a store or at a hotel room, and then they ambush the guy. They put him on on camera and put him online. They shame him. And so,
do they arrest him at the end?
So what happens is they call the cops, and the cops are waiting for them outside. So the cops are kind of they're alerted. These guys do like the legwork to kind of get the whole thing set up, and then when it all kind of goes down and gets weird, the cops sometimes step in. There were some cases where the cops were there. There were some cases that cops weren't. Now these creep catcher guys, they are renegades. They're trying to be Chris Hansen. They struggle a little bit. They're not as good as Hansen.
Chris Hansen is struggling. He got evicted from his apartment.
Yes, but you can't take
They kicked him out of his place and didn't let him get his stuff.
Oh, dang.
But you can't take away Chris Hansen is the king when it comes to catching these online predators.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this one creepy guy, he thinks he's talking to like a 14-year-old girl, and the creep catchers go to the hotel where the girl's supposed to meet him, and the creepiest guy comes out. And within 15 or 20 seconds or maybe 30 seconds, they're talking to him. They tell him what's going on, that, you've been caught, bud. Listen to how this goes down. This video stayed with me. We've got the audio right here.
Hey.
Hi. Come on in. If you like.
Mean creep catchers. How are you? My name's the new guy.
Well, they just...
It's a low-budget
creep catches.
It's a low-budget operation.
Guy's like, wait, who,
Did he
what?
say his name is the new guy?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, this guy's very quippy. They have catchphrases.
He's throwing it out here like this guy would have any idea.
You can shake my hand if you choose. You cannot if you'd like.
You know what? Considering what this guy does, I would not shake his hand.
Yeah, don't shake his hand.
Yeah.
There's different sections of these creep catchers. There's one in Canada, and they've got a saying after they're done, and they get the guy to go, "You're done, bud. You're done." That's their catchphrase.
That's their catch. You got to have a catchphrase. See, Chris Hansen kind of wrote the book. But Chris Hansen never shook anybody's hand. I mean, these guys, you can just see. I mean, if Chris Hansen were here to break down the tape and to critique this whole thing, you can see already what they're doing wrong
Just to give, if you're looking at Kvj Tv, and just so you, Kevin and Virginia, can see the guy we're talking about, there's the guy trying to solicit right there.
Yeah, he fits the profile.
He fits the profile.
Yeah, a lot of these guys do.
Okay.
Either way, I'd like you to know that this is only being used for security purposes. This is so that if you try to say that I attacked you, which I'm not here to do, I am not here to hurt you in any way. Also, if you would try to attack me, this keeps me safe. Do you understand that?
Sort of.
Okay.
This guy sounds highly confused.
Where's the 12-year-old girl?
And I'm pretty sure he's high. I'm pretty sure.
He's like, whoa, man. Weird buzz.
Do you understand why I'm here?
Not exactly.
Is there anybody? Do you mind stepping out in the hall just for everybody's safety? Sure. I don't know who else is in there.
Not at all. What do you call it? Creep catchers?
Creep catchers.
guy's so confused.
Now here's where he pretends like he wasn't trying to get in touch with a 14-year-old girl.
No, this guy owns it.
Oh, he does?
Oh, yeah. This guy is creepy. But the M. Night Shyamalan twist is about to hit right now.
Am I a creep?
What do you think is the answer to that?
No,
Do you think that you've done anything wrong?
not at all. Excuse me, I got a fart on the wall here.
That's all right. I'm a gassy guy myself.
What? He just farted on the wall?
He doesn't know what to do, and he goes, "Oh, okay, sorry guys, excuse me, I got a fart on the wall." He puts his butt on the wall and farts on the wall. Now this goes on for.
Wait, what?
I told you, M. Night Shyamalan ending. I didn't see that one coming.
So do they actually get any resolution, or is it just they get a confused possible creep that farts?
It's a 30-minute interaction, and the guy continuously farts through the entire time, to the point where the creep catcher calls him out and says, "Dude, you got to stop farting. What is going on here?" It just was
good weapon.
It was one of those videos that just stayed with me, and I don't know. I just want to play it for you guys.
So what do they do? What's the resolution?
They shame you publicly. Now that guy is all over the internet. He's known as child predator Scott, the farting predator. He's been shamed. Now I think he's been fired from his job.
Is there any kind of proof that this guy was doing this stuff?
They have a chat log. Yeah, they have all of the records of him talking. So he thinks he's talking to this 14-year-old girl. Yeah. It takes him 20 minutes to even realize there's no 14-year-old girl. He's like, you're the girl? His mind is blown. And then I was reading, some people think that's entrapment. I'm sorry, if you think you're talking to a 14-year-old girl and then you go through with it and you're there waiting there,
yeah,
you're creepy.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, there's a few things in Creep Catcher's game here.
Okay.
I mean, the other part of this, too, is if this went to a court of law, if I got a good attorney, like right away, I'm sitting here and listening to this and saying, okay, how do you know it was him on the chat? Well, you've done a lot of things to go out and publicly shame this guy. You've caused problems to his life. Do you have proof? You're kind of this renegade.
They do, though. They operate just like To Catch a Predator. They have the same system and everything. They have the chat logs. They've got, and then usually they're so scared that they've gotten caught, they admit it half the time, or most of the time.
Okay.
And according to creep catchers, those predators, they do go to jail. Okay. So some of them do, that he says.
And how do they go to jail? They take that video and then give it to the authorities?
Well, because for example, this guy sent pictures of his private parts. Oh. Now, that's a felony. Okay. When you think you're sending that to a minor, that's considered a felony. Yeah. In his mind, they have proof of him thinking that he was sending it to a minor. Now, every one of these creeps always have it's a role-playing chat room. I wasn't going to do anything. It's when they actually cross the line to meet the person there. That's when the crime's committed.
So is this kind of a new wave of YouTube vigilante cop that is out there trying to bust people? And
yes, and there's not, Creep Catchers isn't the only one doing it. There's other little subdivisions doing it now.
Meanwhile, poor Chris Hansen's getting evicted from his apartment.
Oh, no one's as good as Hansen. He's the best.
He's done, though. I mean, his life fell apart.
Yeah.
He can't put it together.
Do you think that's entrapment? I don't. I think if you are legit trying to pick up a kid and then you go there.
If it is entrapment, I don't care.
Yeah, there's no way. Scott the farting predator is a predator. If you watch the interview as it goes on, the guy is twisted.
Well, he's at the hotel waiting for what he thinks is a 14-year-old girl that he told to come there and meet him. I mean, I say lock him up forever.
And it's weird. There was one case from The Catch a Predator where a guy got it thrown out because he was talking about role play, wasn't real, all this stuff. Kind of like what you're saying in a sense.
Yeah, I would think that, depending upon what they have on this guy and considering it is a vigilante group and not actual law enforcement that is, following the proper, legal procedures and things like that if you got an attorney, you could ... And, these guys wind up getting the wrong guy that does actually wind up getting a good attorney, and they have a misstep and they've ruined somebody's life and he loses his job and all that kind of stuff. But they could wind up in some trouble.
According to creep catchers, they're 100%. They always get the right guy. So.
Well, it's good to know they're so good at their job.
100%.
Yes, 100%, huh? Creep catchers. All right. Virginia, what you got in your mind today?
Well, I'm getting all excited because, you're going on your cruise.
Yep.
You leave on Saturday. So
Yep.
I booked a trip too. Me and the kids are going to go see great grandma. In just a matter of days, it's going to be her 95th birthday.
Wow, okay.
So me and the kids are going to go up there, and we're not surprising her. She knows we're coming.
Okay, yes.
We're going to come up
After
there.
92, you stop surprises?
You do not surprise anybody in their 90s.
Okay.
And we're going to go up there, and we're going to do a big birthday party for her. And the kids are so excited, and I'm so
that's cool.
excited.
Good for
Yeah.
you.
I mean, that's just huge. 95?
It is big. Yeah, you got to celebrate that kind of stuff. Celebrate every day.
Yes, yes.
Well, after 90, if I just woke up, I'd be like, okay, all
this
right.
is awesome.
All right, here we go. Another day, baby. Let's make it happen. What I got on my mind, I'm excited on Saturday. It's kind of weird for me because, unfortunately, I am going to miss opening day, which I go to all the time. And looks like it pretty much our ballparks here in Palm Beach County and in South Florida, you're going to have Saturday as your opening day. You got the Fit Team ballpark of the Palm Beaches. They've got the Astros and Nationals, and they're going to be doing fireworks afterwards as well. But I'm excited because you got the ball players that are in town, and everybody is in. And that means Tim Tebow is back, baby. Yeah. He's in Port St. Lucie. And I tell you, he's just, I look at Tim Tebow. He just seems like he has a good attitude with everything. Because, like anybody, Tim Tebow's got his detractors. He's got his haters. He's got people that are always kind of like after him. And so they were just kind of asking Tim Tebow, okay, all these people are always coming at you. You're a failed quarterback. You're not going to make the major leagues. What are you doing? You're wasting your time. This is a silly dream. So he hears all this kind of stuff, and he has really a good message, I think, for anybody that's out there chasing dreams and fighting against naysayers. And he said this in Port St. Lucie yesterday.
It's really trying to keep perspective and not letting other people define you, because they sure do want to. You're always going to have critics and naysayers and people that are going to tell you that you won't, that you can't, that you shouldn't. Most of those people are the people that didn't, that wouldn't, that couldn't. And don't be defined by outside sources. You go after your dreams. Succeeding or failing is not making it to the bigs, or it's not necessarily fulfilling that. It's having to not live with regret because I didn't try. There's one thing that defines me, and that's what God says about me. Besides that, I get to go live out my dreams and try to help as many people along the way as possible.
There you go. Look at that attitude.
I'm telling you right now, you're going to see him in a Major League Baseball uniform this year. I really do.
He's a movie producer, too. He's got a major movie coming out.
Yeah.
If you are hating on Tebow, it is because you aren't as good as him. I'm sorry.
Well, he has a good way of defining it. It's like, usually the people that are hating are the ones that aren't, can't, didn't, won't.
I mean, this is a guy who is a great athlete, has done way more things that majority of the people ever could dream about.
Right. And I thought it was a great way to frame it just for anybody out there. The failure is not accomplishing what it is you set out. The failure is the regret of not doing it in the first place.
Oh.
And that's right.
It's very Yoda.
Yeah. I was just like, that's a really good comment for anybody who's thinking about taking something on and you're like going, it's not going to work. I'm going to fail. Honestly, the only failure is just the regret you're going to live with of not even trying. It's not a failure to not succeed. It's just when you don't do it.
Not trying about something you care about, that is where you have lifetime regret.
Exactly. So the wisdom of Tim Tebow, thank goodness he's back in South Florida. You can go see him. He's going to be AAA, it looks like, this year. And you're right. He probably is going to be winding up, if things go a certain way and the Mets are knocked out of the playoffs like they typically are, he'll probably wind up in...
I think you see him in August or September.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming up here in just a couple minutes, you're talking about YouTube, creep catchers, all kinds of interesting things going on there. The conspiracy theories on YouTube, and one I ran past you yesterday, the Chuck E. Cheese conspiracy. Did you see that about their pizza, Jbird?
No.
Okay.
They were reserving pizza.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
This is very controversial.
Yes, but it ties into a lot of things that we believe today and YouTube's value in it. I'll tell you about it next.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
YouTube really is kind of changing our society. We're talking about the effects that it has, especially when it comes to conspiracy theories. We touched on one briefly yesterday. Somebody made a YouTube video about how Chuck E. Cheese was, or at least appeared to be, taking slices of pizza and reusing them in other pies because it just looked mixed and matched with some of these pizzas that were served.
Well, what's the conclusion?
Well, somebody went out to Chuck E. Cheese, called on them. They brought some people in. They said, no, here's the reason why. They even came out with their own response saying, look, we're just slapping pies together. Sometimes the crust goes over the edge, and then we have that rocker knife, and Now it just, it appears that way, but we're not doing that. So Chuck E. Cheese sent out the strongest refusal.
But what else is Chuck E. Cheese going to say, though? I mean, did the documentary, did it have some validity to it? Does it hold water?
What it does is it shows some pies where you're like going, wait, how did that happen? Yeah, and it does look a little random.
But I think even if it was different pies, overall, it's not like a corporate thing where Chucky is telling the employees, hey, piece pies together.
Agree with that. There could be renegade people.
Exactly.
And that does happen. Stuff
Somebody
like that
just
happens.
went rogue and they were just being an idiot, and Chucky had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, but even with that, though, we kind of talked about that yesterday, and there's not been anybody that came forward in any of the videos saying, yep, did it all the time, or that's just something they do, or we do, or it's just common practice and policy.
If they did come forward, Chuck E. Cheese would silence them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, the rat would take them out. They say, but YouTube is one of the main reasons why these conspiracy theories are getting so big, and I look at just how quickly the Chuck E. Cheese one took off. I found out about it over the weekend. I saw because people were sending me, you seen this video yet? You seen this video? And it does. Before YouTube, there were conspiracy theories. Don't get me wrong. They've been around forever, but the spread of them happens so fast now, and I think that it strengthens it too, that you look at some of these conspiracy theories like the flat earther theory, and you're just like, well, that just seems absolutely preposterous.
Oh, it's a growing movement. It's actually insane how many, I wouldn't say a ton of people, but it is a growing movement.
And they went to one of these flat earther conventions, and the researchers talked to 30 different people just to say, okay, let's see how many of them, believe in this because of YouTube. Every single one said it was YouTube that got them to believe in the flat earther theory. And they're like, wow, that just kind of goes to show you just how much YouTube is playing into conspiracy theories today.
There's a ton of them about 9/11 that's on there where people on both sides are very passionate.
Yeah, so that's kind of changing the game.
But the thing that stinks about all this stuff is there's so many programs out there that it makes it so easy to fake things now, to the point where you can't believe it's getting user friendly where anybody can do it now. It's becoming where it's an app and you can
tricky editing stuff you can do.
You can erase Kevin's face, put Virginia's face on top of it, and it looks real.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Welcome to Today with YouTube.
You can't believe anything you see.
No, you can't. Yeah, that's the crazy thing about it. So, yeah, just any story that comes out now, I just kind of like swim along with it. I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't even know when to believe
For
it.
all we know, customers at Chuck E. Cheese could have put those pizzas together
You're right.
that.
There's that kind of stuff,
and took pictures of it and said, look what Chuck E. Cheese is doing.
Absolutely.
You can't believe anything.
Not a thing.
That's a great point. People love to fake a scandal. And that, because just like you said, look how quick that story got out there.
And they're like, look, I'm telling the world.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Chuck E.'s had nothing to do with it.
It gets clicks. It goes viral. They've got everything that they want out of it.
It took off.
Well, and there's that's the problem is there's no burden of proof, and then there's no punishment on the people who just come up with these things that they probably don't even believe in themselves. They're just like, hey, I just want to get some hits.
So for you, do you have to see it with your own eyes and experiencing it for you to completely believe something now?
Yeah.
Or like if Kevin
stuff like that, yeah.
If Kevin had a weird encounter that was so unbelievable and he had no proof of it, I'm gonna believe Kevin because I feel like Kevin's credible. But
you don't even know when you can believe yourself, because you could see someone coming forward, a video of somebody, even a celebrity, the way that they can do the CGI now, even the common man, and you could have somebody confessing to it on video and be like going, okay, well, that's all the proof I needed, i.e. this Jussie Smollett thing. I could watch a video today of Jussie Smollett on there confessing to, yep, I fabricated all this stuff, everything people were saying, it's true, I did it, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? I'd probably be going, I'm 90% sure. Because there would still be that. Because you
don't know.
There would be that part of me thinking, okay, could this be a fake video that somebody put out here today on this whole thing?
It's getting weird and strange and kind of crazy because people are now able to say, it wasn't me. And you might have to believe them.
There's always, I don't know when I will 100% totally completely believe in anything ever again. It's today's world.
It's just the world you live in.
It is the world you live in.
It's getting weird, man.
Yeah, it is. Now, Jbird had a pizza moment that if he were to make a video of this, you would probably think, okay, if I were watching him, I'd go, oh, this guy totally faked it. But it's so bizarre that it would only happen to Jbird.
The system's broke.
He ordered a pizza, and no pizza arrived.
I ordered a pizza through Uber Eats delivery.
Okay.
Now that's a third party, so it starts to get a little weird now. They're not associated with the restaurant. They are a renegade. They're freelance, so they are going to pick up the food for me, and then they're dropping it off. Now I ordered.
But you don't know if they're hungry.
You don't know anything that's going on.
Right.
You just know someone's dropping off your food. Denny's is very against Uber Eats. He thinks they're doing weird things to the food.
I would agree with that.
So I ordered it from Palm Beach Gardens because I'm trying out all these different pizzas, and I got a restaurant that does not deliver to my house, but the Uber Eats does. So I'm like, all right, this is pretty cool. I send my order to the restaurant. They did not see the whole order. They made the mistake. They saw my garlic bread. They saw my mozzarella sticks. They saw my pasta. They did not see my pizza. And
that was all for you?
Well, I like a little variety.
You had company?
No, I did not. I have been so ill. I am not at any company.
So you ordered a tray of pasta, a pizza, garlic knots, and mozzarella sticks, and that's all for one?
Apparently the doctor ordered carbohydrates.
That's for one dude?
It's, maybe, yeah, it's for one dude.
They did you a favor. They're like, this guy don't need a pie.
No, so
Right.
They're like, no.
We're gonna help him out.
The Uber driver says, "Hey, here's your food." I go, "Sir, I'm so sorry. The pizza is gone." He's like, "Well, they didn't give me no pizza. I called the restaurant. They admitted they were the wrong one." Now,
did they charge you for the pizza?
Oh yeah,
Did they hand you an empty box?
It was charged for everything. I ordered a pizza and got no pizza. It was very weird.
Paid for pizza, got no pizza.
Oh yeah, so it took. They finally brought the pizza, but it was over 3 hours after I ordered it.
Geez.
Well, thank goodness you had 3 other entrees
I
to
know,
hold
right?
you over.
And you wonder why I do things like that. You
Like,
wonder
I
why
can't complain.
You wonder why I get food anxiety for reasons just like
Thank
that.
God you had your 4 other meals.
You were actually smart.
That's why I do those things.
Wow.
But the system's broke. Uber Eats, it wasn't their fault. But once you drive 30 minutes away from the restaurant, you don't want to go back. He told me, he goes, "I'll give you your pizza, but I have to go pick up my kid from school first." He picked up his kid from school, went and got the pizza.
I can see why Denny's is like, it's just...
Yeah, now it's like 3 hours old.
Yeah.
It just looked weird. Do I
I'm
mark
gonna motivate myself to get off the couch and go pick that up.
my question now for my pizza blog? Because the restaurant messed up, do I knock them down a grade a little bit?
It is the restaurant's fault,
It is.
not Uber Eats.
It affected the taste. It affected everything.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you're trying to grade this on taste. Like, because if everybody walks in and they get the pizza that they ordered right then and there, they kind of want to know. And you could, talk about the service and
Just
say
be careful, because with great power comes great responsibility.
You're right.
Spider-Man.
You're right.
You can destroy them.
I'm not out to do. If you read my reviews, I don't destroy anybody. In fact, people are getting on me because I'm too nice. I was trying to get a little edgier here, but
I do want to go on taste.
I just wanted to.
Yeah.
But my point is, though, taste is affected by time. And if you get a pizza that's normally good and it's burnt, and you've never had that pizza before, are you giving the benefit of the doubt?
But if I were the owner, I might argue that going, I'm not the one that made you take Uber Eats. In fact, I believe with Denny's, it's not the right move. If you would have come into my pizza pie shop and I would have handed you a piece, then it would have been good. And you would have had it, and we'd have had no problem.
Well, then the owner needs to not have the Uber Eats service if that's how he or she feels.
I agree, because they probably didn't realize there was so much writing on it.
I just can't believe how much controversy this pizza blog is.
I just can't believe how much you order for one dude.
There's a lot of things you can't believe with this.
It's layered.
There's a lot of things. Very unbelievable.
Tray of pasta?
Coming up here in a second, wanted to get your thoughts on this. Let's say, for instance, that I could bring in here a magical box, and it would be everything that you've ever lost.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
This room ain't big. You need a shed, my man.
Yeah, we would need this building.
I think about stuff I've lost a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It breaks my heart.
Oh, it breaks my heart, too.
Okay, in a second, tell me, what would be the first thing you would go for? I was kind of curious what Jbird's answer would be on this. I have a magical box here, and this box contains everything that you've ever lost. What is the first item you would open the box to look for?
It is the 1978 Darth Vader doll that I lost. I don't know what. I left it at Juno Beach as a kid, and I still lay back thinking about that doll. It had the best lightsaber. I mean, you could go buy it now.
Yeah.
But just it's really expensive. But I remember just being devastated about losing that thing. And I'm pretty sure a kid named Darren stole it. Pretty sure.
All right.
Darren from North Palm Beach.
Okay.
Probably age 43 right now.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're
Darren.
aware. Darren.
Darren. Okay, Darren. Cough it up, bub.
That several wallets.
Yeah.
Several phones.
I think what you answer, actually, this could be, it sounds almost like one of those psychoanalysis type tests. Because I think based on what category you go for says probably a little bit about you. Do you go for nostalgia? And I had a feeling whatever Jbird went for was going to be something from his past that was nostalgic. A toy or something along those lines.
There was this one time, too, I was playing baseball in this town in DeLand, and we went to this Chinese buffet, and I got it was the best Chinese food I ever had. I brought back the biggest box of food ever, and all I thought about was, oh, I cannot wait to dig into this food in a couple hours. And I think I left it on top of some kind of van, never to be seen again. And I never had that food again. We went back to DeLand, and the place went under. It went out of business. And I always think about that box of Chinese food I lost.
So you'd love to go in this thing to get an old box of Chinese food.
From 1995.
Good luck with that.
It was the best food, Kev.
What do you think you go for, Virginia?
I know exactly what I want. So when I moved to New York City in 1996, and I was basically couch surfing until I could find a place to live and find a job and all that good stuff. I didn't know any better. I had my little Honda Prelude, and I kept like a lot of stuff in the trunk of the car. I had suitcases filled with all of like picture books and yearbooks and stuff from my childhood and all my little memories. All my stuff basically in the world was in this suitcase that I had in the trunk of my car that I used to park on the street in New York City and move every other day because of the street cleaning.
Okay.
So I didn't know that people do this all the time. They pop the locks on your trunk and they break in the trunk and steal whatever's in there.
Oh, everything's free.
They popped the lock on my trunk. They saw a suitcase. They took the whole thing, probably thinking it was somebody's stuff with jewelry and shoes. And
oh, yeah.
No, it didn't have any of that in it. All it had was pictures and memorabilia.
They probably threw it in the garbage a block later.
They probably threw it right in a dumpster.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're talking about nostalgia. I'm thinking about all the stuff I lost as a kid. I would do anything to find. I had a whole shoebox of Garbage Pail Kids, series 1 through 6. Every single one of them mint condition. Have no idea where that box went.
Yeah.
No idea.
No idea. All the toys you've lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now in his adulthood is trying to get them all back.
You can see I'm struggling with my past.
Someone's regressing.
So like I said, psychologically, you can really tell a lot about a person about how they answer this question.
I don't want to. This makes me sad.
What item are you going to go for? And I think it's what category you look for. And, you know, some of us might have, if you had an heirloom or something like that reminded you of somebody that was close to you, I could see going for that. That kind of fits into that. Some people might go for a practicality too. Yeah, you talk about things that were stolen. I don't know. Does that qualify? Like if you had a wallet stolen, it's lost.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think it should be lost. Stolen's too easy.
Imagine if you had a lottery ticket that you knew was good for a ton of money and you lost it. You would be like going, that's easily the first item that I'm going to go for.
A celebrity, I forget who it was, recently was talking about how she got a wallet in the mail recently. Somebody mailed it to her, but it was literally her wallet from like 1978. It had her old licenses, old photos in there, all kinds of old things from back when she was a teenager, and she just got it back.
It's so cool. That's what happened to me. I told you I found my old phone from like 2005 in the game. Sorry, I found it. I plugged it in. My dad had a Metro PCS plug. The screen is like. It doesn't show up. There's a light that comes on. There's pictures and stuff on there, and I think there's audio too from 2005.
Part of people's lost box might also include digital stuff that they just, for whatever reason, got erased or they can't find it, and it could have included tons of pictures or videos.
Oh, yeah. Let's put our YouTube channel on there.
Things like that. Yeah. Dig that out of the lost box. Well, we know where it is. We found that. Yeah, but it's kind of interesting. A lot of people are going for things that are nostalgic. Class rings, photo albums that they had put everything in. Remember, we used to do all that? You'd have photo albums, and if you could have an entire year. My mom used to do them based on like years.
Yeah.
You could lose an entire year if you lost one photo album.
It's very sad.
Yeah, so there you go. What would it be for you? 877-979-WRMF. You can always call or text the KVJ show.
It's the KVJ dirt of the day. It's the KVJ dirt of the day. Virginia, take it away. Cause you know we need that dirt of the day.
Oh, yeah. Who's ready for the dirt?
Yeah.
Coming up in a second, I will tell you about the latest bad news for R. Kelly. I'll tell you what's going down in Illinois in connection with new allegations that we haven't seen yet.
Chicago been busy.
Yes, it's catching up with him.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, though, did you see where somebody thought they would do a funny? So there's this place that Arnold Schwarzenegger loves to go skiing in Sun Valley Resort, and he's a big deal there. So I guess he goes every year for their Christmas parade, and they put him on the float, and it's a big deal, and it's a ski town, so he's always there skiing. They named one of the ski slopes after him.
Okay.
Back in the day, it used to be called, the slope was called the Flying Maid, and they changed the name of it to Arnold's Run. But somebody thought it'd be funny, and they changed the name of it to Arnold's Maid. And then they put in parentheses, you shouldn't write it.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know, of course, he was famously hooking up with his maid in the house that he shared with his wife.
Did.
And impregnated the maid.
Right.
And now has a relationship with the son, which is admirable.
Yeah.
It's what he should be doing.
Yeah.
But I guess the vandalism was pretty funny and lots of people were laughing. But the resort did change it back to Arnold's Run. So it no longer says Arnold's Maid.
Well.
It looks like Cardi B is speaking out on the whole Jussie Smollett thing. You know, they're still investigating, trying to figure out what happened here. And you can expect probably this week a grand jury to convene. What they're going to do is they're going to get all the evidence together.
Yeah.
So the cops are going to say, okay, here's the pile of evidence that we have against whoever we have it against. Here you go, grand jury. What do you think? Do we have enough evidence that can lead into a felony indictment?
So are they saying that he was also behind the letter that was sent to the studio?
They're saying that it was him and these two brothers that came up with all of it.
I mean,
Because let me try to catch up, because they say the motive was a letter that came to the Empire Studios that apparently was racially charged.
We saw pictures of it on TMZ. So before, like right before the attack, they had the pictures of this letter.
Yeah, and he wanted them to be more emotional about it, and he wanted it to get a bigger reaction. Apparently was frustrated when it didn't get that.
But I guess so was that letter initially real, or was he behind that?
Behind even that letter.
Wow. I
Yeah.
mean, if that's
Well,
true.
There's a lot of layers if
They
that's
went
the
in the
case.
house of the two brothers that they arrested, the Nigerian brothers, and they found the magazines they used to cut the letters out to make the threatening letter.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, they didn't even throw away the magazines. They had the same stamps in there. The stamps were still the same. The letter was still the same.
What a terribly executed plan.
But I guess probably what the big question is going to be, because a lot of things are really starting to add up that these Nigerian brothers were behind this. Now, I think the only thing is, can that definite connection be made that Jussie Smollett was working in connection with them, or were they working on their own and they are responsible for a legitimate attack? Isn't that the only question that we would have?
I'm hearing, too, that the one guy was his trainer. Like, so these guys were possibly, like, friends.
I had heard that as well, and even despite that, I think his attorney had come out and said that there was no connection between these two even after I'd heard that claim.
Bottom line, there's too much now that everything's getting exposed. They are investigating every avenue. The phone records aren't going to lie. You can trace a lot of this stuff, and I think that's what they're doing, and that's why I think the story is starting to fall apart, because they were able to trace stuff.
Right, and they probably found on the brothers the phone records of them talking to Jussie, and maybe that was what Jussie tried to get redacted off of his phone records.
Before he wanted to take off the numbers that he was calling these guys.
I mean, I don't know, but that's what it smells like.
And they're even saying he was using Instagram, posting things up to kind of let them know, hey, check out my Instagram, here's where I am. And they're like, I think he'd even posted something, before going out for the pizza at 2 a.m. in 10-degree weather.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is bizarre.
Mm-hmm. It is bizarre. So.
Yeah, stick around, though, because, the grand jury will be getting some evidence this week, they say.
It seems like every time I refresh the internet, there's a new
It's a new
element
wrinkle.
to it.
Yeah.
It's going to take a grand jury to go through all the information that's out there on it.
Here's Cardi B. I guess she's chiming in on all of it.
So I'm really disappointed in Jussie Smollett. I feel like he f***ed up Black History Month, bro. I'm not gonna say yet until he said out his mouth that it was fake and was staged. I don't want to completely blame him because, like somebody that I was talking to, they said police in Chicago are racist, so they might probably trying to frame him and make him look like he's a liar. But if he's not, why would you do that? You ain't had to do that. Then you give Donald Trump immunity to laugh and make look bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to be in a world of hurt. Not only is he never going to work again, he might do jail time for all of this because it's a false police report.
You can't do that stuff.
You can't. And I mean, it's a major conspiracy. And he's trying to say now that the other two guys acted alone. His lawyers are saying he's completely innocent.
I think that's the angle you want to take because it looks like these two guys had something to do with it. And so that would just be it, trying to sever any kind of connection that Jussie would have with these two Nigerian brothers. That would probably be your best defense.
This is far from over, so stick around. A grand jury is also being convened in Cook County, Illinois, in connection with these new allegations against R. Kelly. Attorneys turned over to authorities a videotape that shows R. Kelly doing bad stuff with underage girls. They say that also he flew these girls around the country for all kinds of things, unscrupulous things, and that's illegal as well. So the grand jury is convened looking at all that evidence as well. Lots of evidence being looked at. And that's what's going on in your Dirt of the Day.
Mm-hmm. Got some celebrity birthdays here today. Happy birthday to Millie Bobby Brown. Girl from Stranger Things, turning 15 today. Also, Benicio del Toro is 52 years old today. So happy birthday to him. Also, happy birthday wish for Steven from Emily. And also, Sarah Jackson. Happy 26. Love, Dad.
Yeah.
There you go. Got a birthday you want on the KVJ show? Just send us an email, mail@kvjshow.com, mail@kvjshow.com. Simple little test apparently will tell you if you're at a high risk for heart disease. Harvard tells us that men who can do more than 40 push-ups in a row have a 96% lower risk of heart disease than those who can do fewer than 10.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
And with your family history,
Are you looking at me by saying
sure am.
that? It's kind of a mean comment.
I'm looking at you at the side eye. You know it's you.
I'm not good at push-ups. Never have been. I can't even do. If you asked me to do 5 right now, I think I'd start to cry. I don't think I could do it.
You don't think 5?
I don't know, man. I haven't been really feeling it.
Come on, yeah.
All right, 5.
You can do 5.
You can do 5, right?
Do you want them on my knuckles?
No.
I just don't. Yeah,
Just
Virginia,
5.
you judge them over there. You got the visibility.
Stop trying to be all intense and extra and just do 5 push-ups.
I hate when Virginia grabs her phone to start recording me. It's always when I'm doing something stupid or I'm about to fail at something.
Yeah.
Whatever I'm about to do.
It's the fail phone.
It's never when I'm doing something cool.
You're right. She misses all those.
Okay, you
Count 'em
ready?
off.
Push-ups, and he's doing them. 1, 2 push-ups, 3 push-ups, 4 push-ups,
Come on, get to 10, Jbird. Come on.
5 push-ups.
Come on,
Push
get to
it.
10.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
He did 5.
5. Okay, you did 5.
In your face, heart disease.
Well, you got to get to 10.
Oh, never mind.
It says back at you.
I don't think he was going to make 6.
6 would have been tough.
To go, I don't know what that connection is or like why, but apparently if you want to cut down on your heart disease, get to 10 push-ups.
This sounds like one of those made-up things Harvard likes to... Harvard.
Harvard,
come on.
right? Come on. They're just trying to keep their name in the news. I mean, who even goes to Harvard anymore?
Exactly. Yeah. Harvard's so 1968.
Zero credibility.
Zero credibility. Good idea or not, Jbird has an opportunity to help somebody out coming up this weekend, but it sounds kind of like one of these weird plots. It starts off and you only see it in some kind of rom-com, and then it gets all wacky, and you're like, oh, gosh, just seen it coming. Somebody wants Jbird to play a fake boyfriend this weekend. Should he?
Yes, this sounds fun.
I knew Virginia would love this idea. This is the worst idea.
Who is the person?
It's my niece's friend, and she's begging me to go to the wedding as her fake guy she's dating. Now, she's got an ex-boyfriend that's going there who's got this hot girlfriend now.
Okay.
And she is devastated that he's dating somebody new. She wants to go. She can't find a date.
You got to be hotter than his girl. You got to go and you got to make it look like she's got it going on.
Yeah, this is not going to happen. This is such a terrible idea. But she's serious. Does not want to go to the wedding alone. She had a +1 that she was bringing. That guy dropped out.
She can't go to the wedding alone. It's embarrassing. If her ex has a girl, you've got to go with her.
I told her, I said, just take my niece. Go with your friend.
No, you got to take a man.
It's all about these mind games and trying to make someone jealous, and they're trying to insert me in their drama. Kevin, this is a horrific idea.
I love it.
Virginia, I knew Virginia. Virginia loves this kind of stuff.
No, I'm involved in this weird
I understand.
triangle.
I get the insecurity of going to this, and this would be your thought process. But don't you just open up a greater door for more chaos and what could happen? I mean, and don't you look 10 times worse if you're going, oh, wow, they just did that because they didn't want to look like they were alone and pathetic?
This is your chance to help a friend. You want to help this girl, don't you?
You are given the same speech.
She needs you. Any other guy she takes, she can't trust. Not only is the bird going to make it fun, the bird is going to be charismatic. The people at the wedding are going to be like, wow, you see that new guy she's with? He's a great dancer and he's a great conversationalist. He's such a cool guy.
Are you talking? You call me a great dancer?
Yes.
All this build up.
You tear it up at weddings.
Right on the shoulders of you doing 5 push-ups.
Okay, Kevin, the devil has spoken. You be my angel on the other end of my shoulder.
There's nothing in it for you.
Nothing.
There's absolutely nothing in it for you.
And okay, actually, it could turn awkward and dramatic and big time.
Oh yeah, you might have to fight the guy. Yeah. I'm not saying you won't have to fight him.
Where's this wedding?
Down in Miami.
Oh,
like downtown?
I have no idea. All I know is it's a wedding down in Miami, and it's this Saturday.
Well, imagine if it's downtown.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I'm gonna be drinking probably.
Oh, it's probably not downtown.
You're too hopeful. That's why I know this is a terrible idea.
Right.
Oh, you are way too optimistic.
It's probably like in the gardens, the Miami Gardens area.
It is.
1 story, everything.
It's all fine, huh?
Yeah.
It's not even that's
Aventura, someplace lovely.
Yeah.
The locale's not the issue here. The issue is the drama. But do a lot of people do this? Do a lot of people fake a boyfriend or a girlfriend for weddings or functions?
I'm going to say yes. Because you know what? It does make sense because, look, you don't have to make it overblown. It looks like if you can find somebody and you want to find somebody that you deem to be at least as attractive as your ex, if not more attractive, to look like, okay, I'm doing better, at least as good, if not better than you. And it could be like, look, yeah, it's just a casual thing. It's just fun. I'm just kind of like trying different hot guys on for size. So it's not like it has to be anything serious. But I would get the motivation for not wanting to go alone because like going, look at me. I got a new girl and you are a loser all by yourself.
You should consider this a compliment because
it is.
You're hot guy du jour.
No. This is Hail Mary. I am desperate. I need somebody to fill in that I can trust. It's got nothing to do with looks. This girl,
she would not take you if you were ugly.
She is not. I'm telling you, she doesn't look at me that way.
Well,
but
she should because you're hot.
Stop it.
Even if she doesn't think that it's about. Yeah, she's in her mind. She knows that you're at least as good looking as her ex, if not better looking. That's why she wants you to go. That's why you're handpicked with this, because you're not necessarily close. So this has to do with looks first and foremost, because it's not like, hey, we're just already this close anyway that you're the only guy or the first guy I would think to ask.
It kind of is. I don't think it's about looks. I'm just saying because she already had one guy fall through that she wanted to go with. He felt he can't go. She's trying to get her other friends to do it. They're all saying absolutely not, no way in hell. I am Johnny Afterthought over here.
But you have to be at least as good looking as her ex, because if not, you wouldn't take a guy that would look worse. To me, okay,
Exactly.
is it better to go alone or with another girlfriend, or to go with a guy that's not as attractive as your ex?
It's better to go with a girlfriend
Right.
rather than an ugly guy.
Yeah.
No one
that
wants to
is.
bring some toad to the party.
Yeah. I kind of agree with this.
And you're fun at weddings, Bird.
Well, that I agree with.
You are fun at weddings.
The only question with this is how close are you to this actual person? I'm not talking about your niece, because I know she wants you to do the favor.
Sure.
So it's like you got to say, all right.
Do it for your niece.
How close are you to this person? But yeah, ultimately, I don't know. Is this even a good idea to entertain, or do you wind up in some kind of ridiculous rom-com scenario where all kinds of chaos breaks out?
Exactly.
Charity starts at home, Bird. You got to heal those in your own family. Your niece needs this. You should do it.
Could you please put Virginia out in a 2-minute timeout?
Just trying to throw in some advice here. Is it a good idea or is it a bad idea?
It's a bad. Trust me, it's a bad idea.
No.
I bring it up because I want to know if other people do it.
Open bar, dude.
That's what somebody said. Yeah, open bar. Come on.
Open bar, probably a yummy meal. If it's in Miami, it's probably someplace yummy.
Yeah, but that's too broad. You need to start dialing it. You need to narrow it down, because it's like with anything.
You're right. Someplace in Miami.
Yeah, we all know South Florida, and you can say a town and think, but it's not necessarily
They'll probably have delicious Cuban food. That sounds fun.
You don't know. Yeah, I'll get some specifics here.
A couple comments in the chat room. Would this create drama in your personal life, Bird? Potentially. That's one question. Another person wants to know, Bird, do you ever change your clothes? Yeah, I do sometimes. I guess I wear this outfit a lot.
When does the yoga class start?
I don't know.
Are those yoga beads?
I got these yoga beads right before we got on our boat on Sunday.
Yeah. Just seems like there's just always some kind of like little ridiculous thing going on here. Got Emily here with a thought on this. Good idea or bad idea? Jbird has been asked to go to a wedding because this girl, her ex-boyfriend, is going to be there with his new girl.
And let me just go ahead and say, she's in that state right now where she's obsessed with the ex and really wants to. Yeah. She's gonna want me to play the part. Dancing and acting like we're a couple.
Well,
yeah, it's not. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
She wants me to act like we are dating.
You're a great actor. I've seen your movies.
She will want you to look like you're into her, because if you look disinterested and disheveled and a mess, then that doesn't accomplish what she's trying to get here.
She doesn't want me to be almost like a chaperone for her.
Yeah, she wants to show to her ex, things are going great. Got a hot guy that really is into me, so I'm doing fine without you.
So don't hit on the bridesmaids.
Yes. Yeah, you can't. Can't go down that
Don't
path.
hit on the bridesmaids like you'd want to.
Stay in character. Stay in character.
Emily,
Okay.
what's your thought on this?
Okay, Jason, did you not at all think about this? Only because this is something I would have totally done. Maybe she really likes you, and this is her way of actually going on a date with you and sparking something.
Yes, how true.
I totally see what you're saying, but I really do not think that is the case. It's really not.
If she is your niece's friend, how old is she?
Mid to late 20s.
Okay, so she's a baby compared to you.
Yeah.
Later 20s.
Are you going to shave off your beard? Because you do look baby-faced when you shave it.
No, I'm not like you. I don't have to chase the fountain of youth every day. Some people are okay with aging gracefully.
What's that like?
Okay, all right.
She could have the hots for you. That's a good point.
Oh, here we go.
It sounds like right now you're at about a 0% chance that this is going to happen.
Well, I want to get your advice too, Kev. I think you think it's a terrible idea too.
Come on, Kevin, it's content.
I agree. I mean, for
Well, yeah,
content,
it's content.
for content, it's a great idea.
You should go.
But yeah, I mean, there's nothing in it for him. I mean, unless it were just like, wow, I really was close with this girl, and okay, I'm doing it as a huge favor.
Has anybody texted in saying they've done this before?
No, I haven't heard anybody that's done this before at all, and whether it worked or not. I'm sure it has to happen. A lot of people are saying do it. The majority of older people, it's not. I mean, it's almost unanimous.
Do it.
Yeah.
Stop being a whiny little girl.
Okay, stop. Just if you stop talking, I will absolutely go do it. Can I go now?
Ooh, you could probably take the bright line down there. How fun is that?
Oh, it's so much fun. I can't wait.
I love the bright line.
You know me, I love weddings. And I love Miami.
And you love it, yeah.
It's my personal hell.
Miami will be like, didn't we run you out of this town already?
I like the people in Miami. There's a lot of structures that makes me a little nervous.
Did you see the story that happened with this vegan bride talking about drama and weddings? Apparently, she was puffing up her chest on Reddit. She was talking about how she had not invited her meat-eating family to her wedding because she's vegan.
Oh, this crap.
Yeah. She only wanted to serve vegan food and didn't want to hear the usual complaints that she gets about her own personal food choices because apparently her meat-eating family's always like going, that's stupid that you're vegan. So she didn't want to hear all that. Plus, she didn't want to serve any meat, and she knew she would really hear it from her meat-eating family. And apparently some meat-eating bridesmaids said that they were uninvited to the ceremony. They had chimed in. And they had already purchased their dresses.
Oh, this is messy. Why would she invite people and then decide to uninvite them?
Because she's trying to get attention on Reddit.
Yeah, because she is absolutely trying to get attention on Reddit.
She's annoying.
Yeah, well, I don't even know if it's even real. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's trying to get fake.
It's like a Chuck E. Cheese pizza. You don't know what's real anymore.
People like to just throw this crazy thing out there to see everyone get annoyed and mad, and then dumb radio people report on it.
Yeah.
We fall for it every time.
Uh-huh. All right, so anybody ever played in this game that Jbird's in? Ever been uninvited from a wedding for a ridiculous reason? You can sound off, let us know, 877-979-WRMF.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
Well, if you can believe it, there was a vegan bride supposedly on Reddit who uninvited her entire meat-eating family.
I can believe it.
Maybe.
High maintenance.
Wow. Okay. So have you been uninvited from a wedding for a ridiculous reason, or did you do it to somebody else? Jamie is on here, 877-979-WRMF. Okay. Jamie, you actually uninvited somebody. Can you tell me why?
Yeah, I uninvited my uncle. He's like a diehard Republican, and he wears the MAGA hat, and he just wears it like as soon as he gets up, and he just puts a thing on. He's like diehard.
Okay.
You know, and he demanded that he was going to wear it at the wedding, and it started him. And I mean, I feel like he's almost an obsessive Republican. And so I just, I had to talk to my family, and I said, I'm sorry, but it's too controversial because I'm not like a very, I'm not a very political person, and I respect people's views and stuff, but he's just, ridiculous about it. So, my family's been upset with me about it, but hey, you know what? This is my wedding.
Okay.
And I don't want the drama, and I feel like, I feel almost like that situation would be so controversial that it would upstage the whole wedding.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's there and he's wearing the hat and he's doing it like this is his stance, and he's like, look, I have the right to make the stance wherever, and it sounded like you tried to talk to him and say, please, I got some friends that are going to be coming to this. I just don't want anything causing any kind of an uproar, and he just flatly said, if I can't wear my hat, I'm not showing up, basically, is kind of how it went, Jamie?
Yeah, he's kind of a controller anyway, and I've dealt with that, and the family just kind of tiptoes around it, and I just put my foot down this time, and everybody's kind of mad at me about it, and they're giving me a lot of crap, but at the same time, it's just like, this is my wedding, so.
Yeah, I think you got to do what you got to do. I don't think you're a bridezilla. If somebody's trying to be difficult intentionally walking into your wedding, yeah, you might just want to uninvite them. Apparently this happens a good bit because we got a lot of texts here. Somebody said, I was a bridesmaid in my best friend's wedding. I was dating a guy who didn't believe in marriage, and he said that he would propose to me at her wedding to steal her thunder. And it was a terrible joke, but she found out about it and uninvited me just in case I went through with it.
Oh.
And she was the best friend of 10 plus years. Is that the right move? If you were like, I don't want you to do this, but I don't trust that you're not going to do it. And because if you're a bride, isn't it fair to say, look, I want the focus to be on me, or at least us?
It's your day. You paid all that money. I think a lot of brides look at it very much like, I don't want anybody proposing to anybody at my wedding.
Right. So do you uninvite if you say something and you're not convinced that they're going to do it?
It's your call. If
Right.
you want to do it, you can.
Okay. Somebody said, I got uninvited to a wedding because I had a baby and I didn't lose the weight in time. no fat bridesmaids were allowed.
Okay, if that is real, you need to get rid of all those friends that you are involved with. They're terrible people. If someone's saying you have to lose weight to be in a bridesmaid party, you're insane.
She said she was my best friend since 10 years old.
Drop her.
Whoa.
How about that, huh?
That is tough.
Weddings make people crazy.
They make
Bridezillas.
You are insane if you were asking your friend to do that.
Somebody said I was kicked out of being a bridesmaid because the bride's mom didn't like the tattoos I have on my shoulder blades. Wow. Boom, gone. There you go.
I mean, these people gotta get a life, man.
It's crazy.
Why would you care? Why would you care if somebody is carrying baby weight or has tattoos?
Yeah.
They are not you.
Oh my gosh, life is so short.
Yeah.
This is the stuff.
You're going to get older and you're going to regret.
I think what people do to themselves is they spend so much on the wedding that they build up this whole thing of it's got to be perfect now because of the cost they're putting into it. They say the average wedding now costs $33,931. That's the average wedding. And this wasn't taken in South Florida. This is a national survey. This is from the Knots. They do their annual real wedding study. Basically $34,000.
I hope you tell me I got to lose weight. If not, I can't go to your wedding. I'm putting on an extra 20. How about that?
Tonight.
Yeah, in your face.
Uber Eats?
Yeah. They say that's $15,500 for the reception, $1,600 for the dress, and $2,400 for the flowers.
Those flowers seem like a waste. Does it kind of, you could put that into food or alcohol or just other stuff than flowers? I don't know. Are flowers necessary for a wedding?
Yeah.
You have to have them?
No. In fact, you know what? I got a really cool list here. Somebody that does weddings all the time. And they said, I see people getting this stuff and spending money on it, and it's completely unnecessary. And it's a pretty good list. If you're thinking about a wedding, you got one going on, this is some good advice on stuff where you think you need it, because just people have, or they convince you that you do, and you don't.
For my wedding, I had flowers, but you know where I got them? I climbed a tree the morning of my wedding and picked them out of a tree.
There you go.
You didn't have any flowers, though.
I had magnolias, so I climbed somebody's magnolia tree in their yard.
You're a tree climber, aren't you?
I love climbing trees.
Yeah,
I
she
just love
does.
it. Good thing I didn't fall out the tree.
You're on your wedding day?
On my wedding day. With a
on crutches?
Neck brace.
That'd have been pretty awesome. Unnecessary things you really don't need at a wedding. The average price now, $34,000 for a wedding is what people are paying. And apparently a lot of the stuff you don't need to pay any money on, you don't need. Somebody who actually puts on weddings said, hey, look, here's a list of at least 5 things that I would say people I see always getting and they don't need. It's useless. Wedding planners. They said unless it's a massive high-dollar wedding, you don't need one. They get in the way, and most are pretty worthless.
And to me, I could see a wedding planner trying to justify their
salary.
salary.
They would sell themselves. They'd be going, no, don't
guys,
even think.
Trust me, these napkins are imported from Guam. You need the Guam napkin.
You don't even want to try going this alone.
Guam napkin.
First thing I thought of.
Expensive cakes. They said it won't likely even get eaten. A Walmart cake will suffice. They're usually great. They do the trick. They're affordable. And, hey, I didn't waste money on a cake that nobody even touched.
My girlfriend never even had a cake. She just had a special dessert that the place did the reception, and then everybody ate the dessert. She didn't want a cake.
Yeah. They say don't waste money on expensive bridesmaids' dresses. As long as they're pretty and flattering, your bridesmaids will thank you for not making them pay too much for something they'll never wear again.
Is this a complete faux pas if you have your wedding party, have every woman wear a different kind of dress, a different outfit? Do people do that, or is that so not posh?
I think now you see more of that, where they'll say, okay, just go get the same dress, the same color. Everybody just get their own favorite style. And
what if you just be you up there? If you want to wear slacks and Keds, just be you. Is that something you can do these days?
It depends how freeform your bride is. Mm-hmm. I think most brides, they get crazy. And
they do.
I've been there. I know what it's like. You get crazy because it's all the pressure of everybody in your life. Just imagine everybody in your life watching you at one moment to see if you're going to pull this off or not.
Right.
And that's a lot of pressure. And if you think about it from that angle and that perspective, you're like, okay, you can see why some of these brides lose their mind. Mm-hmm. Everybody they care about is watching them.
Right.
To see if they can pull this off.
But much like life, there's just some you can't control. And if it goes one way, do you have to lose your crap over that? I mean, is it really the end of the world?
I don't think it is, but when you're in it, it is really hard for you to take that perspective and look and realize, okay, it's not that important.
You become what you swear you never would.
Yep.
Yeah.
It happens a lot.
Well, here's where I lose the room. An unnecessary thing at a wedding, cash bars. Beer and wine is all you need, they said. It saves you money, and you'll have less extremely drunk people causing side drama.
I don't know. Sometimes you have to, in case of emergency, break open that little glass jar to get that Jameson in you.
I don't know. I would kind of agree with that. I think you can do beer and wine.
Okay, they said that will suffice.
Don't ever do a cash bar. That is ridiculous.
Okay.
Don't feel like you have to do a full bar.
Okay.
Full bar means liquor and
Right.
wine and beer. If you just do wine and beer, I think everybody will be happy.
People might keep it more casual, too.
Yeah.
And also, Pinterest overload. So many girls stress out trying to recreate things they've seen on Pinterest, and that's where they start to drive themselves crazy. That social media is doing it and making some weddings worse because you want your wedding to live up to whomever that you've seen.
The pictures.
Right. And that's exactly what I got to do. So, coming up here in just a couple of minutes, I'm very excited. It's probably my new favorite game. Called Denny's or Animal.
Oh, right. We're still doing this. I'm glad. I love this.
Such a big fan of it.
It lives.
Yeah. And we're going to take it out to the country in the barnyard. The Rib Roundup Music Festival is going to be coming to Coral Sky Amphitheater on Saturday, March 2nd, just right around the corner, with Chris Lane, Chase Rice, Morgan Wallen, and Kip Moore, plus lots of great ribs. And I got some tickets for you. You want to play a little Denny's or Animal, jump on the line. Playing a little Denny's or Animal here. Here's the name of the game. We play a clip for you, and you got to tell us. It's pretty simple. Is this Denny's or is this an animal? The name pretty much says it all. We got Brad on here from Loxahatchee.
I love some of these new music beds we've got.
Oh, yeah, right?
Sounds like the Roseanne theme.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. Denny's labeled it Midwest-style rock.
What?
Brad, what's going on, bud?
What's going on? I can't believe I'm on. I've been calling all these years. I can't believe I'm on the show.
Oh, I know. We're excited, too. This is going to be a lot of fun. You a big fan of ribs and country music there, Brad?
Of course, yeah.
I figured, yeah. I think in Loxahatchee. Do they run you out of town if you're not a fan of country music in Loxahatchee?
That's pretty much a rule.
That's what I figured, yeah. It's hard to fit in. You want to make a statement, go to Loxahatchee and be like, I hate country music. Oh,
kick his ass.
What? Kick his ass, Seabass. Good luck fitting in. All right, so here's what we got for you. I got a clip. You just got to tell me, is this producer Denny's or is this an animal, okay? Okay.
All right.
What do you think about this here? We'll see how well Brad actually knows his animals. Okay, that is a zombie.
Is that a constipated Frankenstein?
This is zombie?
No, that's actually that's a cow.
That can't be a cow. It's possessed, right?
It's a zombie cow.
It's a zombie cow. That's what it is.
It is a zombie cow that we've got here. What do you think? Is that Denny's or is that an animal?
I confidently say that's Denny's.
Is that you, Denny's?
With confidence.
Yeah, how about that? That actually is Denny's. Where are we going with that? What was? I'm not. Yeah, I don't. Because you went more zombie.
Kind of aggressive.
Oh, I think it's more kind of you. Yeah.
Suits and I listen to a bunch of cow clips. That I think that's pretty close. They're like,
It does go low.
It's real bassy, the cows.
Bass.
Yeah. Let me hear yours, Jbird.
His has got diarrhea.
Okay, wow.
How is my cow worse than Denny's?
Yeah.
You have no room
I thought
to
actually
make
we
fun.
recruited the worst sound effects guy on the show, but I
did a worse job.
Yeah. I'm wrong with that. All right, next animal we got up here. This is a coyote. It's a coyote chicken? Okay. I don't know. Brad, what do you think? Is that Denny's or an animal?
I hope that's Denny's. That's a horrible sounding coyote.
I don't think it's a coyote.
Coyote howling at the moon?
I'm going with Denny's.
It's really feel like you're slipping this week.
Oh, yeah. This bit is on borrowed time. Oh, yeah.
What are you talking about?
Okay, what do you think about this? Oh, this is, we're going deep on this, and if Brad gets this, he's a big winner here. We're going to go with the Sandhill Crane.
Ooh.
Which, by the way, these things, I had 3 of these things that were walking in my driveway yesterday as I was trying to pull in. They don't care. It was amazing.
No, they know they have the right of way.
Yeah, I guess they're like going, yeah, you hit us, you know what's going to happen? Good luck, bud.
We're protected.
They're a brazen animal.
Yeah, I really couldn't believe it. They just did not care what was going on in my day. I don't know.
That's clearly Denny's, right?
Is that Denny's, or is that an animal? Brad, what do you think?
That's the animal.
Gonna say it's an animal? Is that
Are you
not
sure?
All right.
All right, yeah, it is, you're right. It's an animal.
Let me hear you do a Sandhill Crane, Denny's.
Right? They're real loud. They used to be outside my window.
Let's see how close that is. Yeah, let me hear you now.
I mean, spot on.
It's actually not that good.
Very terrible. All right, we're going to play the Roseanne theme and give Brad some tickets.
It's like the Rockin' Roseanne theme. All right. Yeah.
Well, Brad, you and your Loxahatchee friends are going to go check out the Rib Roundup. Got your tickets for Coral Sky Amphitheater to come up on March 2nd. Okay, bud?
Awesome. Thanks. Love you guys.
Oh, we love you.
We're not going to get sued by playing any of these music beds, but we are going to lose our listeners.
Yeah, we had to switch out all of our music beds. That's why they all sound so weird and new.
It doesn't sound awkward at all during the dirt of the day. I just got to call it out. I'm so sorry.
Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, producer Dennys and Jbird had one of those very interesting late-night discussions last night. I don't know exactly what was going on when they had it, but it has to do with something that Dennys thinks Jbird does that's gross. You'll find out about it coming up.
It's the KVJ dirt of the day. It's the KVJ dirt of the day. Virginia, take it away, cause you know we need that dirt of the day.
Oh yeah, dirt of the
What?
day.
What?
Come on,
Yeah,
everybody, put
yeah.
your hands
Come
up.
on, come
put
on.
your hands up.
Yeah.
Well, coming up in a second, I'll tell you the latest in the whole Jussie Smollett thing. We'll also hear from Al Sharpton. What does he have to say about all of this? Before we get into that, this could be why Lady Gaga and her guy that she was engaged to are now split up. Witnesses say they saw him, Christian Carino is his name, out having a romantic dinner with a brunette just 2 days before the Grammy Awards. If you remember, she showed up at the Grammys without him and not wearing her engagement ring. Maybe they were on the rocks for a little bit. People that spotted Christian Carino and this woman having dinner together in Hollywood back in February, early in February, say it very much looked like a romantic date between he and the girl. So,
Okay.
In other news, it looks like Queen and Adam Lambert have announced that they will be performing at the Oscars together. They will do a little Bohemian Rhapsody thing. Of course, that movie is nominated for 5 Oscars this year, including Best Picture. So that'll be kind of fun to see Queen and Adam Lambert on stage.
Yeah, big Queen kick. I saw that Bohemian Rhapsody just last week. So
It's available to rent.
it is, yeah, it is. It's a good little movie.
And finally here, looks like they are trying to wipe Jussie Smollett off the show Empire completely.
Really?
Yes.
This is a new one, huh?
This is a brand new story. He was supposed to have 9 scenes they were filming this week, but now 5 of those have been cut completely. He was supposed to do this musical number. That's been cut completely. As far as the 4 remaining scenes, they're like trying to take the focus off of him. I guess there's an ensemble scene where there's a bunch of people and he's still going to be in that. But they are feverishly working behind the scenes with the writers to make edits in the script. And they've gone through multiple versions of just trying to cut him out as much as they can from the storyline.
Oh, wow.
It is also a fact that the case is heading to a grand jury this week. Law enforcement sources say that the focus is now to present evidence that will lead to a felony indictment against Jussie for filing a false police report.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's hot and fresh, folks. Yee, it's not looking good for him. Here's Al Sharpton. What has he got to say about what they are saying Jussie did?
We should come with all that we can come with in law enforcement to find out what happened, and the guilty should suffer the maximum. I still maintain that. And if it is found that Smollett and these gentlemen did in some way perpetrate something that is not true, they ought to face accountability to the maximum.
I think everybody's in agreement on that. There are movie posters popping up all over Los Angeles making fun of Jussie. They took the Black Panther movie poster and they turned it into Prankster instead of Panther, and it's got his face on it. So there's like these prank posters popping up all over Hollywood making fun of him. I don't think he'll ever work in Hollywood again.
Well, do you remember, and this is different, I'm not comparing it, but it's just the commentary on Big Lies. Do you remember that one actor / comedian who said he was 9/11 victim in the Trade Center? And when I heard that, I'm like, I don't know if this guy's ever going to work again. And he's still working somehow.
He does?
Yeah, he does.
And he lied about being in 9/11?
He flat out lied about it. I don't even think he was... I don't think he had anything to do with it.
I think people just forget, but I think this is so big.
It is. Well, this is a different level.
I don't know if anybody's ever going to forget what he did, if he did it. Stay tuned.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the take is. I'm really just right now kind of sitting back and watching how people are reacting to this, and it's still too early, I think, to say one way or the other, but I do kind of find it fascinating just how people are kind of reacting to it and what they're saying. And will he ever be a sympathetic figure? Is there going to be a lot of anger? Is it going to undo any other victims' rights who are saying, look, I legitimately am a victim of this kind of stuff?
If he is lying... Again, because we don't. I mean, when are they getting the answer? Like an absolute answer
this week.
Okay.
This week they're going to present the evidence to the grand jury.
If he is lying, he will claim that he's so sorry. It was mentally breaking down. He'll depression. He'll do that next.
He's still holding his ground, though, huh?
As of now, his lawyers are calling everybody a liar that is saying that he had anything to do with this. His lawyers have doubled down and said anybody who said that is a liar.
They're going big. They're going big.
Wow, this is so crazy.
But I hope you have truth on your side when you go that big.
It is a crazy story. I mean, is there a story that we've had recently that has been nearly this crazy, if it turns out to go this way?
The reason why it's crazy is because it's starting to look like there's proof of lying.
Exactly.
And if it looks like there's legit proof and then they're still saying, I'm not lying, it's creating this weird narrative.
Yeah.
Stay tuned because we will know this week all the details. And that's what's going on in your Dirt of the Day.
Okay. Well, there you go. Jbird's got a cop buddy that apparently somebody tried to bribe him.
Oh, man. He pulled over this woman, and she had a ton of Perrier water. You know what that stuff is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not illegal.
No, it's not illegal. Her license was suspended. She was speeding. And to get out of the ticket and to not get any more trouble, she tried to bribe him by saying, look, I'll give you all this Perrier water if you don't tell anybody. If you let me go, if I don't get a ticket, we act like you never saw me. All this Perrier water is for yours, free of charge. I'll never tell anybody.
A case is like $10.
But he said there was so much of it in the back of her. I mean, it was a ton of Perrier.
Even if the car is full, it's probably not more than $100 worth.
He said he laughed, and then her car
took her to jail.
Her car got impounded. But who tries to bribe with Perrier water?
I think you try to make do with what you got.
You're desperate. You're throwing Hail Marys out there.
That's all I've got.
Yeah, the concept of bribes are kind of funny to me because, you look at that, and to me, I don't have the cojones to ever try to bribe a cop.
No. Oh, my gosh. Because it's not going to go your way.
No.
Most times, it's not going to go your way.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, but it's like, the word bribe is something that seems dirty, right? It's like, okay, I'm influencing you with money or influence or whatever. But
I mean,
Perrier water.
You really think about it, and even though the word bribe seems so dirty, there are tons of stuff that I think that we all do that really would fall under the category of bribes. But it's like bribe light. You know?
You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Yeah.
That's double bribe.
You would see it all the time at the baseball camps. There'd be little kids there, and they were rich kids, and the parents would tip. They would tip the instructor if the kid had a good time. So a lot of these instructors were kind of on the take when that kid was around. They'd give him the MVP when the kid didn't deserve the MVP. Because they knew they were getting a $100 tip on the take.
Well, I would tell you that in South Florida, honestly, knowing how to work bribes,
the system.
Knowing how to work bribes is what it's all about. My daughter now, she's one of those people that seats people, and she's at a nice restaurant, and often they're filled up. They don't have a ton of tables, but it's a very classy place. And she'll tell me that that move will happen all the time, where it's like they're like, "Sorry, sir, we don't have any room," and he's like, "I think you do have some room," and magically a $100 bill comes out. And then somebody comes up, "Oh, yes, sir, right this way."
I mean, it's a power move, and it looks cool if it works out.
Right. It does. And some people seem to know exactly when to make it work. I'm not a big baller like that. But, I told you that story about that one dude we had. He was a client of the radio station. He took me to the national championship of the Rose Bowl all the way in California. And we're in this van, and the traffic is crazy trying to pull into this stadium. If you've ever been there, you know. And we're pulling up to the front, and the guy's like, you got to turn around. He's like, "This is only for like players." And he's like, "Is it only for players?" He handed the guy $1,000. He's like, "Here, we parked closer than the football team."
Wow.
I couldn't even believe it. And I'm like, it's just, I guess, having the money or knowing when to work a bribe.
$1,000 for a parking spot?
Dude had the money.
Wow.
He made it work. And in South Florida, I think this stuff probably happens all the time. And even to a smaller extent, I remember when I first got into radio and I was working promotions at a radio station in New York City, that was eye-opening to me, is we were at Madison Square Garden, and the cops came up, they're like, "Hey, what you got for us?" And they had what we called a cop box. And we would take the best prizes and tickets and everything we had, and the police knew that every time they would see our radio station van, they come up, be like, "Hey, what you got for me?" And we would hand them the cop box.
And then you could park wherever you wanted.
We parked up on the steps in front of the gate at Madison Square Garden after that.
In a sense, that's a bribe.
It is.
It's
Like I said,
semantics, baby.
it seems like such a dirty word when you use bribe, but in places like New York City and South Florida, it happens all the time. And how is it happening, and how do you use it? Because I'm like, I never even would have thought of something like that, but it's genius.
Hot box. It's genius.
Yeah.
Everybody gets what they want.
Right. I think this could really help some people out here today. If we talk a little bit about bribes, about when to throw them, what to throw, what situations you could make a lot better. You probably know, for instance, getting into clubs, a little bit of money, this and that. How much do you throw? Because I would hate to throw too much. I want to throw just enough, right? I mean,
I don't know. I'm not throwing any extra.
But, sometimes, to get in, hey, if a $10 bill will get you
10
something.
ain't getting you in.
I don't know. Maybe some places it will.
10,
Oh, man.
Kevin.
Maybe in Logan, Ohio. Not down here. $10.
Is $100, do you have to go at least 100?
If you're talking,
Can you go 20?
If you're talking about one of those situations where you're at a nice restaurant, it's busy.
You can't get in.
You got to at least, at minimum, start off with a 50 to even try to move the needle.
I agree with the bird.
Okay.
I don't think a 10 or a 20 is going to do
A
it.
10, they might spit in your food. Like, who the hell is this guy?
So, where do bribes work? How much do you got to throw down? And you ever been part of a weird bribe? Maybe you got something that is going on. I just would like to know, because I think this could actually help a lot of people. You can call or text us 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763 at the KVJ show. Try to do it with a cop, you're going to get in trouble. Actually, the wrong cop is going to be like, okay. They'll actually throw more at you.
Well,
You'll wind up in a lot more trouble.
My buddy said technically, if he wanted to be a jerk, he could have gotten her for trying to bribe her.
Totally.
But, I mean, it's Perrier water. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. But, I mean, I've kind of seen the other way of it. And in a light way, there are parts of our system that I think would kind of fit under the whole thing of bribes. I remember with the cop thing, I was talking about the cop box I had working promotions. The thing that used to always blow me away that I found out when I lived up in the New York area, they used to have these stickers. What was it? PBA, Police Benevolent Association.
They have that here.
And you would always, I remember in New York, somebody's breaking it down saying you always put that on like where the cop would drive by and see it, and you'll never get it. That was the rumor. You would never get a ticket for anything if you had that PBA sticker. on your back window.
Because it shows that you donated to help there.
It's not a bribe, but lightly, isn't it kind of bribe?
It is a
light?
bribe.
It's bribe light, isn't it?
You're paying for that sticker.
Right. I mean, that's kind of it. So, people are kind of wanting to know, okay, well, what kind of moves the needle around here? What can you get, and then how much is it going to cost you?
Okay, let's say you go to the pharmacy, and the pharmacist, about 3 hours until your prescription's ready. Oh, here's a 50. There's a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where he tries to bribe the pharmacist, and the pharmacist gets very offended. You're like, don't you never try to bribe a pharmacist, but do you? I mean, could you? Could that move the needle?
That pharmacist can't speak for every pharmacist.
I agree. Like, exactly.
I know there's one out there that would take a 50 and bump you up.
If you're a pharmacist, would it be insulting for someone to break you off 100 and say, "Can I get my medicine first?" Could that even happen?
If I was a pharmacist, I'd bump them up real quick.
Yeah.
Money talks.
I'd be on the take if I was a pharmacist.
I'd be on the take if I was anything.
Some people it works for, other people it doesn't. Somebody said, I was in line at the new Avatar ride at Animal Kingdom. Somebody dropped $1,000 to skip the line.
Whoa.
They had to have been drunk, right? That's so much money, man.
Drunk with money.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's what power and success.
I mean, if you got that, you don't got to be drunk. Yeah, and this kind of stuff happens everywhere. A lot of people are saying nothing less than a $20, $100, depending upon what you're talking about. Usually will get you a little light convenience. You can move up in line, you can go earlier, you can get maybe a better table, or you can get a table where a table doesn't exist. But it seems like about $100 is pretty solid. If you're talking for something a little bit more intense, $1,000 in some places. Yeah, if you're rolling in Miami, you're probably talking you have to drop at least $1,000. And somebody said it was so embarrassing. I went to Vegas and somebody told me about, you just put a little bit of money there and you're like, yeah, I think I'd like an upgrade. A little $100 bill, and the person shoved it right back and said, "We don't do that here, man. This is Vegas." She said it was so humiliating.
I bet. That's so embarrassing.
Like everybody's looking, and see if you get turned down for a bribe, or somebody's like going, "Nah, nice try."
Anytime you get called out publicly and you're in the wrong, it's awful.
I'll be leaving now.
Yeah, somebody say it's only a bribe until they both agree. Then it's just a trade. Is that true?
It's a trade if everybody's in agreement.
Somebody said, I'm a nurse and people are always trying to bribe me to move up tests and to discharge faster.
Oh, wow.
Somebody said even we do surgery and somebody tried to drop like a couple $100 to move up their surgery so they could get in and get out faster.
I could see that happening. There's no way they do that. Never in the history of medical, someone's not taking a bribe.
There's always somebody. There's always a shady lady or dude.
Oh, yeah. Somebody said my husband dropped $500 to the DJ and he played every song we wanted for the whole night. People hated it. But $500, you're like, chicken dance again?
Yeah,
okay.
you're the king. You are at that
Could
point.
you imagine that? Imagine if Jbird had that.
Narcos theme again?
Jbird would be the worst if he had this kind of money. He'd be throwing around. Imagine if you're living in Jbird's world.
Who wants to hear more Olivia Newton-John?
Oh, man. Somebody said, pharmacists here, the best way to get your prescriptions filled faster is to simply be nice. Get on the first name basis with the pharmacist.
That's all great and all, but we all know the reality. You can still be nice and be first name basis, and you're still going to have to wait an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I think you got to bring the money. Did they say that it's insulting?
They said, yeah, it's insulting if you try to bribe. And that's just it. That's why I kind of want to know, because in some places it can be insulting. It could actually get you worse service, or they're just like turned off. It could be embarrassing for you.
Maybe the more professional the individual, like a pharmacist, like a nurse or a doctor, maybe those people would be more insulted because they have had extensive schooling and training and it's an upper echelon job.
It would feel weird to tip your doctor, wouldn't it?
Right. Like, hey, doc, I need this done quicker. Here's $100.
Yeah.
When he's making, whatever he's making.
Yeah, and somebody said it is not called a bribe down here. It's called greasing the wheels, so it's not bad.
Oh.
All right. I love it.
I love how we spend it here in South Florida. It is definitely a big deal. All right, anything you want to throw into the mix, you can. 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. Here's maybe a thought for everybody. Let's stop doing DNA tests. I'll tell you why next. I'm wondering if there's anybody out there yet that has refused a DNA test when somebody has asked you to take it. And I'm not talking about something where it's like paternity or something like that. It's meant to be fun. You got a family and they're like going, look what I got. One of those fun little things, 23andMe or whatever the company is. Here, take it. Let's see what it says. Let's find out, where we're from and all that kind of stuff. Where somebody be like going, no, I'm going to sit this one out. Nothing good's coming from these. Now, listen to Chris's story here. There might be a good reason for this. Now, Chris, your whole family kind of got burnt by one of these DNA tests. What exactly happened?
Well, we went up to visit an uncle up in Chicago, and of course, he had a DNA test, and he has a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And, she got the test for Christmas, and she took the test before anybody and the rest of the family knew about this. Now, he had a daughter with a neighbor. He had an affair 45 years ago, back when everybody was in the post-hippie times, when free love was free love.
Okay.
And, she didn't, nobody knew this. This was a deep, dark secret.
Mm-hmm.
The neighbor didn't tell the daughter, even after her husband died. He'd been dead 12 years. He didn't. But here's the DNA thing, and that punches through all that anonymity. It's gone.
Sure.
All of a sudden, we're all finding out now. This girl, this child that was born, is my age.
Okay.
And it turns out we both went to the same elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
And, back when you were little kids and you playing doctor, you show me yours, I'll show you mine. It turns out the first girl that ever saw me naked was my cousin.
So you have no idea. You think you're just playing with some random girl. Turns out you're actually showing your junk for the first time to a cousin.
You didn't know, baby.
Yeah, you're right. That ain't on you. Wow.
It's weird. The anonymity is gone. The fig leaf's gone.
Yeah.
A whole lot of people are
need that
finding
fig
out
leaf.
things that they don't want to find out about. And I say, if now the whole family, everybody in the world wants to take these things. I got nothing to hide.
Right.
John Walsh isn't coming to get me, but if it's not broken, let's not break it.
Yeah, and you had said here, it says here, now your wife is kind of like wanting you to do a DNA test with the whole family, and you're like, no, but by saying no, you almost kind of like look like you've got something to hide even when you don't, because you're just like, look, this, I don't think it's going to affect me, but let's say a major skeleton from the family that's been covered up for 50 years comes to light. Now we got a situation like what happened to my family in Chicago, where you had an affair that had happened, a child that was raised by different parents, never found out the truth, and then I showed my business to my cousin. I mean, you see all the problems that happen with this kind of stuff. I could see where if I were Chris, I'd be like going, no, I don't want to take, these things bring nothing but trouble. But then if you say no, then, well, what are you trying to hide?
Yeah, what are your secrets?
So I don't have any secrets. I just don't want any problems. I just think it's a bad idea.
I can't go into details, but one of my family members took one of these tests. And, and I'm just throwing it out there. Big family, big family.
Okay.
They just found something out that they can't believe.
Yeah.
Their entire life, they've been thinking one thing, and it was a complete lie.
Yeah.
And they told me I can't even talk about it.
Wow.
Well, that's just it, because, those were the decades of secrets. You had weird family things happening where there were affairs, and it was so much easier to cover up stuff then than it is now. And you go 30, 40 years of a lie, that really is mind-boggling.
This family member was very sad about the information they got, because their entire life has been one...
Right.
The sky's been blue. The sky's been blue, and then all of a sudden the sky's red. What?
Yeah,
that's kind of how it went.
I'm dying to know the family member and the secret. Will you tell me if I ply you with enough alcohol?
Probably, but I probably shouldn't. Yeah, no, it was.
I'll be at your house tonight with a six-pack.
All right.
So I have a question here. Let's say that you are in a situation where somebody in your family thinks it's a real fun idea, and they come at you with the DNA test. You don't have anything to hide. But can you just say no, or does that look sketchy and weird like you do? And how do we get families to start saying, look, I just want to throw this out there. No one is allowed to take these tests. I don't want them to take. I don't want anyone to take these. Like, we're all good.
Too much can happen.
We're fine right now. Whatever's going on, whatever we don't know is not hurting us.
Well, with my family member, they thought they were just being goofy and just trying to get some fun information. And then they legit found out that they've been living a lie.
So
a lie.
So how do you get out of these DNA tests if you don't want to be a part of it without looking like you're sketchy? Is there a way to do it? Is there a great way to say it? Because you would think, even if you're just saying, look, I think this could wreck our family, let's not do it. They'd be going, what do you have to hide?
Just say, look, I know who I am. I don't need money or some numbers to tell me.
Yeah.
I'm not paying the money for the test. I don't care what it says. I know who I am.
Curious if anybody else has had to opt out of one of these. As a family member come at you, try to get everybody on board to take this. Did somebody stand up and say, no, family's not? We got a family ban on DNA tests. Sorry, not going to happen. If not, families probably should start putting a family DNA ban on. Be like, going, no one's allowed to take this test. No one is taking this test. It's banned in our family.
Do you know who's getting real scared about all these tests? Serial killers from back in the day.
You're
Because
right.
now you've got relatives that are linked to the serial killer, and that's how they're being found.
Even though the serial killers don't take the DNA test, if they've got siblings or cousins or parents that do, they're linking it back to the serial killer because of their family
so now,
members.
if Chris puts his foot down and says, no one's taking a DNA test, now not only does he look like he's sketchy, but he looks like he's a serial killer.
Exactly.
How many people have you killed there, Chris? Yeah, so what do we do? What are we doing to ourselves, people? 877-979-WRMF. Got a story for us. Let us know here at the KVJ Show.
Did you miss a segment from the KVJ Show? Find it on kvjshow.com or soundcloud.com/KVJ Show.
Yeah, somebody said if you don't want to take a DNA test, just say, look, I don't want the government to have my information, or I don't want to do anything that's going to, like, maybe, for instance, like blow, my cover on anything. They say that, they're taking some of this DNA evidence, medical companies, and use it against you. Yeah, there's just so much craziness that
That's
happens
messed
with it.
up. To think about, okay, when you go to get insurance,
Yeah.
the insurance company has a deal already with Ancestry, DNA, or whatever the companies are.
Uh-huh.
And they have a deal where they go, oh, hey, Kevin Ralston wants insurance. Has he ever done an Ancestry.com? Oh, yes, he has. Oh, can we have those results? Sure, here you go, because we have a deal. And they give your results, and then your insurance company's like, no, Kevin, we don't want to insure you because your blood said this, this, this.
It's crazy.
Oh, if you are a murderer, if you're somebody that killed somebody in the past, and you think you've gotten away with it, and you thought you're living your life, I got away, those days are over. You should be nervous every single night. Go to bed knowing at any point you could be going down.
Because one of your family members had a DNA test done, and they start tracing it back to you.
A family member you might not even know you have.
True
Could
that.
bring you down. If you are a murderer, you should be scared.
Somebody texted in and said, through a DNA test, I found out that my cousin was actually my brother, and my grandfather had an illegitimate daughter.
Wow, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah, no, it's insane. I mean, and you have some twisted stories. Thumbelina had sent me an email about her. She talked a little bit about it, where she doesn't know what's going on. She looks a lot different than her other siblings. She came out with like a white hair, and her other siblings look a lot different. And she tried to do a DNA test, just try to get some answers about what was going on, because there was a lot of weird shifting stuff. Like her sister had done a DNA test and said, oh, you're pretty much a perfect match with this chick in northern Florida. And so she, sends a message to her and being like, well, that's kind of weird because I don't have any siblings up there. And she said, were you adopted? And it got weird, and the girl cut off communication. And
Well, did it get weird and cut off communication because it's the truth?
Yeah, I don't know. But Thumbelina's whole thing, and so she tried to do a DNA test, and then it just came back like inconclusive. So she can't even find out if...
What?
Yeah, she don't know if she's like alien baby, immaculate conception, like what is going on. It's like, and some of these stories are like...
Are we ruling that off the table?
Twisted and crazy. What?
That she was a miracle baby, that there's nobody.
She's right there. I want to see if she... Do you have any idea, like, what it is?
I know we had talked to her before.
Right.
I didn't want to be mean because I felt like she really believed that. I just want to make sure if that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah. If you had to say, what is the explanation for why you're having... Because your mom was getting ready to split up with who you believe to be your biological dad.
They were already split up. They lived in the same house, and they were in separate sides of the house.
Yeah.
My mom had a friend living with her at the time to help her with her kids. She worked at the
And your mom
school
thinks she
and-
has the flu. And so
Yeah,
she's
because-
going in, and then here comes Thumbelina, and they think that, she was maybe just a couple weeks pregnant, and you were actually full-term baby.
They thought she just got pregnant because she was like 110 pounds soaking wet. And
Yeah.
this is after 3 kids. So she's been pregnant 3 other times.
Yeah.
So, and she always gained weight and showed. And then she found out she was pregnant, and then she 6 weeks later started having contractions. She thought she was miscarrying. Went to the hospital.
And here comes little
And I was born 6 pounds 13 ounces. I was bigger than my brother. My mom said she had a tiny little pouch belly. She's like, I have no idea. She was like, I wasn't with anybody at the time to get pregnant with you. I'm only a year and a half apart from my brother, which is really close to get pregnant right after.
So you got all this mystery going on about who you are, and then you try to take a DNA test, and then
any answers at all.
Okay, I have to ask this. Is this a common thing in science where someone can get pregnant without sleeping with somebody? Does that ever happen other than the Bible?
And I absolutely believe my mom, 100%.
There's no way, like maybe an ice, a loopy.
I asked her a million different questions, a million different ways.
As a listening, one would say, okay, Thumbelina's mom is not telling Thumbelina the truth.
It sounds crazy or a lie.
Well,
it
and
sounds
that's
like one of the two, or a crazy lie. Like
and that's where these DNA tests, maybe you might say, is the great equalizer, where you're going, okay, I just don't feel like I'm getting all the answers from my family, and family is.
So you did one?
I did one. And
which one?
I did the Ancestry.com one.
So you paid?
And me and my husband did one. He got his back. We both got text messages at the same time saying that they were being processed, and his was being analyzed, but I didn't get my message back that it was being analyzed. And then I got an email a few days after he got his information saying that it's inconclusive. They tried multiple times and they need another sample.
So you
Here's
can't
your
even
free
get yours to
sample
work.
link. And I'm like, oh, I guess I'll try it again.
Wow.
So you did it again?
I am going to do it again, and I just got it in the mail yesterday.
Okay.
So I'm going to do it again here shortly, but if
Can
it
I
doesn't come back as anything, what do I do?
Can I see the paperwork of what it said, like the inconclusive stuff?
Yeah, I sent Kevin the.
I want to see how they
screenshot,
handle
the
that.
email,
Like, wait, how?
Yeah.
And I sent the email asking them, like, why was it inconclusive? Did I do something incorrect? Like, I thought I listened to it.
How often does somebody get an inconclusive test? When you do the DNA stuff and they say, no idea.
Not only how often, what do they
Yeah.
say when that happened?
Right.
Is there a technical glitch? Did some guy have peanut butter back at the lab?
What if Thumbelina just wants to find out what's going on here? She
Did
can't
you
even get an
drop
answer.
it? I just want to know. Like, just tell me what happened. They're like, no message back about why.
Okay.
Someone's saying this about the whole, and I don't know if this is something that can back up with science. Unless Thumbelina is a twin from another egg, does that make sense?
That's what my mom thought too. She's like, maybe I got pregnant while I was pregnant with your brother. Like,
Does that
I
happen?
don't know. Like, I don't know.
I don't think.
Wait, hold on. I got to go back to biology. Wait, can you get pregnant with another kid while you're pregnant with an older kid?
Yeah, I just turned 33, and my brother turns 35 this July. So
Okay.
we're a year
Well,
and a half apart. So, but
then
it
that
takes
doesn't even
9
add up.
months, and she didn't even look pregnant. So that's why she doesn't understand.
Wow.
I mean,
That-
I was.
Yeah.
They
Well, I
think-
don't think that's the case because that doesn't even add up. That would have
Right,
been
like
over
the
a
math doesn't
gestation of
add
10
up.
months.
Yeah.
Unless your mom is like some bizarre creature that has a 24-month gestation.
And look, I want to believe there's some kind of alien baby going on here. We just got to get to the facts.
Even if it was alien, I'd be okay with it. At least it's an answer. Like, I don't even have an
Okay.
answer.
You're okay with being an alien?
Yeah, I just don't have an answer. I'm okay with it.
Well, take the
Let
test
us
and
know.
keep us
Some-
posted.
Some people say samples can get contaminated.
Yeah.
Again, you don't know who's doing your sample.
Poor girl
either.
just wants to find out who she is.
Tell me it was contaminated.
Am
so
I
can
am I
do
human?
it
Am I
differently.
extraterrestrial? What's going on here? So yeah, it's some crazy stuff,
Yeah,
but
but
boy,
I'll-
it's
I'll
opened
try
up a
it.
whole new world. But yeah, if you want an excuse, if somebody's pressuring you and you know there's something weird going on, just say, look, I just don't want my information out there.
causing a lot of
What
issues.
do I get out of it? Exactly. Anything else to add to it? 877-979-WRMF.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. Yeah. So many people on meth. Ow!
Oh, yeah. Okay. Funkiness, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I always kind of tell you that, if you're going to commit a crime, there's a lot of really bad getaway vehicles, roller skates, pogo sticks, lifts. I mean, we just had a story like about a week ago about these teenagers tried to rob a bank and they got caught because their Uber driver was late picking them up. Here's another burglar in New Jersey ordered a lift. He robbed a place, waiting for his car. Here comes the lift, has all of his loot, hops in the back. He's like, yeah, I need to take me just right the other part of town. Guy in the front seat's like, You got a lot of weed on you? Guy's like, what does it matter to you? I'm an undercover cop.
Oh.
Wasn't the Lyft driver.
I had that. I had a Lyft driver in Buffalo that was an undercover cop.
Two.
He came to pick us
Dang.
up, and we're in the Lyft with him.
Wait, can you do that?
Yeah, I don't think I like that.
I
that
don't
sounds,
like that either.
I don't
Denny's
like that.
hates that. Denny's is never going to take a Lyft ever
He
again.
started telling us. I mean, we were talking to him. We were just being friendly. It was me, Panda, and the kids. And he's like, yeah, I'm a cop. You know, I also do this on the side. But you'd be surprised how many crimes I solved from being a Lyft driver. I was like, really? That's
Dang.
fascinating.
I hate it. I do not want to get picked up by a undercover cop.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not doing anything bad.
Oh, whatever. Whatever. You should be the most worried.
Yeah, just keep putting that out to the people, though. Stop using Lyft and Uber as your getaway vehicle. It's a bad idea. Now, this might be a good idea. If you got a drug house, have your pet alligator guard your stash. It may not be a bad idea.
Yeah, no one's checking under the alligator. I mean, that thing's gonna bite.
Here's the only thing, though. Being from Florida, I'm not impressed. Cops raided this home earlier this month. They found heroin, fentanyl, crack cocaine, pot, and an attack guard alligator. The thing was 3 feet long.
Oh,
Come
you need
on,
a bigger
man.
one than that.
That's cute. I'm not even scared of a 3-foot gator. I mean, come on. Yeah, they say the gator was removed, now at a zoo, and they've nicknamed it El Chompo.
That is
that's
good.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
Yeah, right? Okay. Okay. That's a crazy story. There's a woman in Western Australia who was flashed by a man in a park several times. And as she talked to other women, she found out that they had been flashed too. So this woman did the only logical thing she knew. She decided to run a sting operation to try to catch this guy in the act. So she put on a full gorilla costume and sat at the park waiting for the guy to do it again. Why wear the costume, you ask? She said she felt it would help her sit in there in broad daylight and hide her identity. It seems preposterous because you would think if you noticed a gorilla sitting on a park bench at a park,
I would think a jackass stunt's about to happen.
what is going on here?
Or somebody's promoting Jbird's beer.
Yes,
Yeah,
full
you know
gorilla. It seems like faulty logic, but oddly enough, it worked. She saw the flasher. She took photos of him doing his unsavory acts, called the cops. They had proof, arrested the guy last Friday on 4 counts of committing indecent acts.
Wow, she saved the day.
All because of an undercover gorilla costume in the park.
Oh, I love it. The whole thing's goofy. It's great.
If she's finished with the costume, can we borrow it for our beer promotion?
Yeah, funds are low right now, Kev.
Sounds like she's done with it, yeah. I always wondered this, man, because I remember when I was a kid, you used to always see, like, in the cartoons or in the TV shows, somebody gets stuck in quicksand. It's curtains. Slow sinking death. Guy in Arizona actually got stuck in quicksand at Zion National Park in Utah. He's on a hike, became stuck in it, and couldn't get out. Now, I don't know. I guess maybe you don't sink all the way until your demise.
That's what I've heard.
Okay.
Horrifying.
But the woman who's with him couldn't free him. I mean, you always know you take vines out of the trees and throw them vines and then pull them out.
Or just a long branch.
Right.
Something.
She couldn't get him free, so apparently she had to hike for 3 hours to get cell phone service to call emergency authorities. Park rangers found the guy several hours later, and he had hypothermia and all kinds of injuries to his extremities by that time. They got him out of the quicksand, but they had to spend the night there because there was no condition to hike out, and then a helicopter picked him up the next day.
Wow.
You're stuck in quicksand, and only me or Virginia can save you. Who do you trust the most with your life to get you out of there?
Who's going to trip and fall in the quicksand with you?
Who's going to get all annoyed and give up early and then go and do a different thing and not have the heart of a lion?
I'll cut down a tree to be able to pull you out.
I feel Virginia's going to be more resourced.
I may not save you, but I'll die trying.
I know you will.
I'll die pushing you under with you.
It'll turn into a reverse rescue.
Dog, I'm here for you. You don't want Virginia helping you.
I will get you out of that
Heart
quicksand.
of a lion, Kevin.
I will do everything humanly possible.
Well, thank you, Virginia. I appreciate that.
The right answer for you would have been Denny's, Kevin.
Yeah.
Neither of the
Yes.
above.
Got news for anybody that do you have a grow house? Do you have crack, fentanyl, anything like that? And you'd like a guard gator? Brandon's on here from Boynton with some info. Yes, what you got for us, Brandon?
Hey, I want to let you guys know that most cities in Florida, they have certain rules for stuff like that. And when it comes to gators, if it's under 80 pounds or under 4 feet, you can keep it in your house without any permit or anything.
Wow, pet gator.
Okay. All righty. Well, there
So you
go.
don't need a permit if he's small.
Yeah, and some gators, female ones, can be fully grown, adult, and register in at 3 feet, like 10 inches. You can have a fully grown, ready-to-go gator.
Oh, dude, you
pygmy gator?
You love alligators. I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah. Fascinating stuff. That's some
Yeah, a
really
little
good.
bit. I mean, you can't live in Florida and not, like, respect them, I guess.
You're right. No,
Yep.
amen.
So, Brandon, where is your crack house? Okay.
Let you guys know.
I appreciate the info, man. Remember that woman in Clearwater that went into the Red Lobster and she shanked a lobster out of the tank and took off running? She's all hammered.
Yes.
Yeah. Employees caught up with her. If you remember the story, she said she had no idea where the lobster went. I don't know if she just freed the lobster and took off on the lam and ran back into the ocean. I don't know.
Sometimes when you're running, it's hard to hold the lobster. It might have fallen.
When you're running and you're drunk, it's tough.
Well, you know what else is lost? Her. She didn't show up for her court appearance.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, she's doing it all wrong.
Her and the
doing it
lobster
all
on the
wrong.
Yeah, she just, I love people who make bad decisions, though. They just can't help themselves.
She can't.
It's one after another. It's just
Like, she makes me feel good about my life.
yeah, you think like, okay, I made a bad decision. I got to get on the right track. Nah,
If it wasn't for girls like her, there'd be no whacked out news. So
No, you're right.
Thank you, girl.
She's an all-star. And 21-year-old Samantha Hernandez in Vero Beach. She got all hammered and naked on Sunday night. Hey.
Party.
Went to her fiance, said, hey, look.
Check it out.
Oh, yeah. Apparently, he wasn't interested.
He's like, I've had enough.
Yeah. Well, she said, oh, yeah. Jumped on him, attacked him, and then spat on the cops when they came to break it up. Yeah, so there you go. I can't do that, but girl got froggy.
Is the wedding still happening?
That's a great crazy. I always have these where I'm like going, okay.
It says fiance.
Yes, relationship survivor here. Are they still together? What do you think? She's 21, young. This ain't gonna last.
No, I'm saying he
No.
decided
Yeah.
this is God sending me a message.
I agree. I think they're broken up. If anybody knows about the fate of Samantha's relationship, you can let us know here at the KVJ show. Somebody sent us the mugshot photos for Samantha Hernandez. She's the one that was in the whacked out news that she got drunk, naked. Thought her fiance would be like ready to go. He was not. When he said no, she said, ha! Tact. And then apparently went after the cops when they were arresting her. We got her mugshot photo.
Are they still together, though? That's what we need our eyes and ears of the Treasure Coast to report.
Didn't get that. Found out she's 5'3". Oh, very feisty 5'3".
And this is from the Treasure Coast area? So
Vero, yeah.
Okay, they could potentially hear this.
Yep, got everything. Yeah, they get it all right away. Right there in Vero. Samantha Hernandez is a white female, Caucasian. Interesting.
You have the picture up right now?
I do, yeah. With the name Hernandez. Are there any, like, Hispanic people with the last name Jones?
Probably. Yeah.
Does that happen?
Everybody's hooking up with everybody, Kev.
Guess so. Yeah, all right. What if you get, like, a double take? Jones? Wait, what?
Pretty soon we're all going to be so mixed up. There's going to be no difference between all of us.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. Getting there, Virginia. Well, thank you very much for the people doing all the work on that.
Yeah, we need to know, is her fiance going to stay with her through all this? If anybody hears, please let us know.
I think I could overlook it. She had a bad night. She's 21.
It's a lot, though.
Got her drink on. Got a little froggy. Had a bad night, Virginia.
We all have bad nights.
Yeah.
We all get froggy.
Yeah.
Someone sounds like they ate a frog.
Yeah, you got a lot of balls talking about someone's voice.
I think you actually sound worse than me today.
I think you're right.
Maybe for once, yeah.
Yes.
Maybe for once. If you had to say, what is the thing that sober you hates the most about drunk you? Do you do something drunk that you just hate? Be like, oh, gosh, I hate when I do that. Yeah.
Oh, I do. I get too deep sometimes. Oh, I love you so much, Kevin. Oh, it's too much. To the point where, all right, dude, calm it down a little bit. Just with anybody, I'm like that.
Yeah, you get a little emotional, happy or sad.
Well, you get a little too mean.
Yeah.
Evil or eviler.
Do you have something that you typically will do when you get hammered? You're just like going, oh, gosh. And when you think about it, it's the first thing that makes you cringe when somebody's be like, oh, guess what you were doing last night? You go, oh, I was? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I get a little bit too mean, then I don't like it.
If I get too...
It is mean then.
It's all fun when you're like laughing and being silly and dancing on tables, but then when you're actually mean, then that's not cool.
It's getting too honest and deep with people you probably shouldn't be getting honest and deep with. The alcohol just sometimes just makes you a little bit more loose.
Oh, no doubt it does. Oh, no doubt it does. Loose lips, baby.
Do you have one?
I was trying to think of, what mine is, and I typically what happens is if I have a little too much is I wind up getting in trouble with the queen, And
so yours is fear.
Yeah, the reasons for that, yeah. So then, sober Kev hates drunk Kev because drunk Kev got sober Kev now in trouble, and sober Kev has to pay the price for drunk Kev.
But take the queen out of it. Just what makes you cringe that you do if you've had too many and you're like, oh man.
Okay, the one thing that made me cringe, probably one of the cringiest things I've done, because a lot of times, when I drink, I'm like, I like party Kev. I get crazy, You're
having a good time.
Oh, I have a great time, and oh my gosh, we're just doing crazy stuff. The stories we have.
That's fun.
Yeah, I love all that. But I have done some things that do make me cringe. And one time, I don't know what happened. I got really hammered one time and put on a Southern accent and insisted I was from Tennessee.
That's awesome.
My friends were like, we know you're not from Tennessee. And I'm like, well, nah, I swear y'all, I'm from Tennessee.
I think that's great.
And I just the next day when they're telling me, I was like, oh.
No, that's good. I'll tell you what can be cringy is when you wake up the next morning and go, I don't want to look at my phone. Did I text? No, I texted her. No.
I was tweeting. I tweeted.
I try not to do the social media anymore. But
tweeting is the worst.
Oh, I have done some stupid stuff on social media after a few.
The other thing sober Kev hates about drunk Kev sometimes, or at least I had to go back a little bit, but money that I would spend. Money that I would spend.
Yes.
It used to be some days, and this is, when you're like going, okay, I hope I make rent this month. And then you go check your debit the next day, and you spent $300 the night before that you didn't have.
Drinks,
and you're like, what
drinks
am I
are on
doing?
me. I got it, guys.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
That was one of the biggest things that sober Kev hated about drunk Kev.
Drunk people forget their financial limitations. I'm one of them.
You're in the moment. You're having a good time. You're just trying to keep the good times rolling.
Yeah, let the
You
good times
forget,
roll, baby.
You forget you have a budget.
Let the good times roll. So there you go. Yeah, it just gets away from you.
There's so many more. That makes me cringe.
Anything else you want to throw out that makes you cringe? Yeah, you do. You can't stand yourself sometimes. The sober you hates the drunk you and the stupid things that you do. You're going, did I do that again? Gosh.
Like yelling at your nice friend in BurgerFi on Sunday.
You did that, huh?
Well, she was way drunk. I was sick and drunk. I had a temperature. I should not have been on that boat, and I was losing my voice.
I was wondering where the drama was going to come in. I knew that had to be something because I was asking. I was trying to pry yesterday with Virginia, and I was like, okay, because the last time you guys were on the Pontiki was fighting over the playlist. Because
that was fun. Virginia really was just trying to be friendly. We didn't really have a fight.
No.
This one woman would not stop talking about my ex-girlfriend to me, and I was just like, okay, can we just move on, please? There's no way to get off this boat other than to jump off and swim. And I'm not a strong swimmer.
But he did consider it.
Yeah, and it was kind of a slightly annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just... Virginia was trying to make me feel better, but she was being obnoxious, and she would sit on me and would stop not sitting and rubbing her butt on me. I'm like, can you please stop doing that, Virginia? I'm not in the best mood right now. I don't feel well. Yeah, but Mama's going to do this. And she kept on, and I finally snapped.
I was trying to lighten the mood.
I said, Virginia, I'm not in the mood for this. Please, stop it. So if you saw the BurgerFi fight go down, that's what it was about.
Oh, there's all kinds of people in BurgerFi.
Oh, yeah.
So public.
Well, so who brought the fireball on the boat? I didn't know that was happening. drinking.
Well, it's Pontiki, baby.
Oh my god!
You had that, and you had 9% beer
And Jello shots.
Oh, geez.
No, it was. I
Yeah.
was kind of in a different little area mentally. Plus, I wasn't feeling well. I wasn't able to handle things. That's one of the things. When I'm drinking, I can't handle certain things.
You don't handle drama well.
No.
Okay. So people texted in and said, yeah, what the sober me hates about the drunk me is I will disappear. If I'm not getting enough attention, boom. I'm gone, and now my friends are trying to look for me.
Oh,
then you get the
yeah.
attention that way.
I've had a friend like that before. They would just disappear, and for a day, you'd think they were kidnapped.
Somebody said, I'm always like, we should hang out again. You should come to my house. The next day, I'm like, no.
Oh, I am overpromise guy. Let's come over and jam. Let's play guitar.
I used to be after party host. And
Oh, yeah.
that's bad.
No,
You
Kevin
invite
would-
everybody back afterwards.
Kevin told me how bad they used to get after the parties when you guys first got into town.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
He told me that you were it was like 5 a.m. in the morning, and you were looking outside, and you were depressed because it was turning into daylight.
Yeah, I had one of these realizations one day. I remember it was at one of Virginia's 18 apartments she's lived in since she's been in town. And I was sitting there, and it was about 5 a.m., and I'm just like, the last 5 hours really haven't been that great. I'm like, why are we doing this?
Why am I still here?
Why am I still here? Why do we do this thing where we're up till 5 or 6 a.m.?
It's not even a party anymore. It's just
not
an after.
Yeah, I haven't enjoyed myself for a solid 5 hours.
I mean, that's a long time to have something suck.
I think it was like the last night. I'm like going, okay. Yeah. Somebody else said, yeah, drunk me tries to do high karate kicks. My sober body's not happy about it the next day.
But to me, all that stuff's fun, though. That's goofy, fun drinking.
Yeah. Audrey said when I get drunk, my friends, they cut me off. So then I'll sneak around and I'll ask people if I can just sample and taste their drink.
What
are you drinking there?
Is it good?
Like, what did she do to get cut off?
Yeah, that's it. And then the next day, sober you's having a talk with drunk you.
Oh,
and-
it's the worst conversation.
Oh, gosh, it's just tough. Somebody said, I learned this weekend that you shouldn't have 3 or 4 of Jbird's full gorilla beers and then talk politics with your neighbors who love Trump.
Oh.
I'll tell you what. Any conversation you're about to go into after 4 full gorillas, I would just check yourself.
Just don't.
Well, if you'd like to make some mistakes, you can check out Full Gorilla, not only at the tap room at Due South. It is there right now in Boynton Beach. Also, Das Beer Garden has got it in Jupiter and on their Singer Island locations. And a lot of people raving about Tucker Duke's in Deerfield Beach. You can get Full Gorilla there, so pop in and get you one.
Do you need more KVJ Show? Find everything KVJ at kvjshow.com.
Apparently, Jbird does something that Dennys finds to be disgusting. I don't know if it's one thing or if we need to have him come up with a list. But he said this is just not something you should be doing. You guys apparently were together having a late night conversation yesterday?
No, it was over the weekend at one point, and we were running late to get to
okay.
something, and I came out of the shower and said, hold on, man, let me just, and I was eating a bowl of cereal because I had a terrible tummy ache. I need to get something in my...
You wearing pants?
No, I was taking a shower, eating a bowl of cereal, and now I take the bowl of cereal out, and I don't keep it in the shower, but he thought it was weird that I was eating food in the shower.
I was like, you got food up here? You're eating in the shower? You don't think that's weird?
I'm kind of, I find it really kind of weird that really anybody does anything other than just clean up in the shower, because I get in the shower and like I'm focused. The bath, I get. Bath, you can do different things. That's more, recreational, and you could have some wine or you could eat in that. But the shower?
Yeah, it's tricky. You gotta eat, you gotta put it down, and then you get splashed. Then you eat, you put it down, and then you get splashed, baby. If you're in a rush, you're just like, I can't believe you're eating cereal in the shower.
It's like, how big of a rush?
You're right. That was not a good Denny's impersonation. It's more like, I can't believe you're eating cereal in the shower, man.
I just don't see how it doesn't get all. It's going to get extra soggy.
It's a shower, but I mean, if it falls in the shower, it goes down the drain. I'm not leaving now, if I left the dish in there, that's gnarly. If you just go poop in there, that's gnarly. But if you're just going to take a shower, you're awfully quiet, Sinicki. Are you just judging?
Yeah, I'm just over here picturing this sexy thing that poor Denny's had to drink in.
Side note, very good cereal that's out right now. Kellogg's Frosted Flakes chocolate style. Very good. Kellogg's.
Chocolate Frosted Flakes?
Yes, it is very good.
Okay.
Or is it Frosted Flakes chocolate style?
Ooh.
Let me Google that. 'Cause now, you're right.
Did they really switch it up?
Good point. Well, you're grossed out by this.
No, it's not necessarily grossed out. I just find it to be pointless. Like I said, for me, my philosophy on showers, I'm not a big multitasker where it's like I believe attack something, get it done, move on to the next. And so for me, when I go to shower, I get in a shower, I focus on what I got to do, and that is cleaning the body properly and the hair. And then I get out and I go on to something else.
I've got too much to do that requires both hands. I don't have a free hand to eat.
Yeah. And then on top of it, I wouldn't think that either would go well. I wouldn't think that eating cereal would go with showering. I wouldn't think that showering would go well with eating cereal.
Well, it's not like I was eating like this, pork sandwich in there. I think there's certain foods you don't want to bring a big old plate of meatballs into the shower. Cereal to me, it's a little bit more benign.
Only food that makes sense for me in the shower is popsicle.
Oh, I do that all the time. I get down with a popsicle in the shower.
Popsicle I could see.
Show me.
You get down on a popsicle?
That makes sense. I mean, in fact, if you had a little kid, I'd actually probably put them in the shower.
It's a way better place to give them a popsicle than just in the open air of your house.
Right. I'd always eat pizza in the tub growing up.
I'm not surprised.
I would stay in the tub for an hour.
See, like I said, I put the tub and the shower completely different. The tub, you can do whatever you want basically in the tub. That makes sense. Like I told you, my old producer in Kansas City, he would get up and he would smoke in the shower. I'm like, how is that possible?
I had a buddy that did that.
I'm like, how do you smoke in the shower? He would wake up, he would roll over, smoke a cigarette. He would get up, get into the shower, smoke it. Like,
so gross.
How do you know you are addicted to the
Oh,
cigs?
it was unbelievable. We talked to him like just how much he smoked, and I was like you honestly can't stop smoking long enough to take a shower. He's like, no. He had like an ashtray that was like sitting. He's like, it's on the back of the shower, so the water didn't hit. But I'm like, just the humidity and the ashes, and let's say you ever knock that thing over, now you got ashes in your tub.
I have no idea what guy you're talking about, but I can picture him in my head, and he is definitely a gigantic pooper.
You know what
and he couples them together.
No, he wasn't actually. He looked like I'll paint a picture for you. He looked like, you ever seen the Butler and Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Yes.
He looked like that guy, and we called him Mr. Scary.
Oh no,
that was his name. We call him Scary for short.
Okay, so he belonged in radio.
Mr. Scary was his name.
Oh man.
And it kind of fit. Yeah, so that's what I think when I'm thinking about doing anything in the shower. Doesn't make any sense to me.
I tried to answer a text message the other day, and I took like 19 photos of myself by accident.
Oh, have you ever
taken water on the phone screen? It's like.
Have you ever taken an accidental naked picture of your front?
Yes.
Oh my gosh! And I kind of bent and contorted over. It's the grossest picture I've ever seen.
My picture was me like hovering over trying to catch the phone as I like fired off 19 photos.
Oh yeah. No, I have to delete this one photo because it is.
Let me see.
I don't think you want to.
What's going on there?
I accidentally deleted my pee. Like it's my stomach / peen nard area.
Just all
and I
mashed
bent
together.
over. I was trying to. I don't know what I did. I guess I snapped it when I was in the bathroom.
I think I need it.
Somebody said I saw a picture of Jbird doing his pizza review at the top of the stairs. He's holding the pizza naked.
Yes, that was another one where there's another naked picture on here.
The question we had yesterday was the one Instagram photo you posted up. You're in the bathtub holding a pizza.
With candles.
Yes, and you have bubble bath. I assume you're probably naked in there. Who was it? Who took that photo?
Wouldn't you like to know?
That's what we're asking.
I don't plead the fifth.
Okay, we had an easy answer. We thought it was your dad.
It was Dennys.
It was
Denny's.
It was Randy. Yeah.
It was my dad. My dad took.
I don't buy it.
No, my dad took the bath when you took the
stair one.
So what are you asking me? Going, hey, Dad, can you come in here and take a photo of me?
You don't think my dad is used to my goofiness by now? He caught me dancing naked in the bathroom. He's like, Jbird, what do you do? I didn't think my dad was home. I'm in there dancing all naked by myself to Olivia Newton-John.
I don't know what's more weird.
Was it Xanadu?
No, it was, have you ever been mellow?
Wow. Party. Somebody want to know if you've ever tried these Cinnamon Toast Crunch churros?
I was going to. They are on the list. Great question.
Okay, there you go. All right. Any kind of food facts or questions you've got for Naked Bird? Trying out some new cereals here today. Cereal is some good stuff. I would say if you had to say what are the easiest foods to get caught up in a binge session on, to just get away from you.
I can put down a lot of cereal in a quick amount of time. That's why it's a dangerous thing.
Cereal's weird because it doesn't feel like it's taking up any space in your stomach. And next thing you know, you're like 4 bowls in. You're like, how'd this happen?
Captain Crunch got just the berries, Virginia. Just the berries. That's all. Instead of, you had the mixed Captain Crunch.
Sure.
Yeah, they do just the berries, and I ate, a whole box pretty much. I'm bragging now, I know.
Yes, you are.
We're all impressed.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty pathetic.
If I had to say the food, for me, probably ice cream. Probably number one that can get away from you. And here's the thing about ice cream. You can get, you ever done that where you say, oh my gosh, I've almost eaten the entire tub?
Absolutely.
Because here's why. One, I love ice cream. And two, I have this weird game. I don't know if it's part of my OCD, but I have to always, where it's melting, I'm like going, well, I can't put it back in here where I got that melted sludge, so I have to eat that. And next thing you know, and I'm taking the smallest little bites because I'm only taking just a little bit of whatever's just melted since my last bite. Dainty bites. Next thing I know, though, I just plowed through an entire huge thing of this ice cream. I'm like, oh my gosh. That's what gets away from me.
That's funny you mentioned OCD mixed with your food because when I was younger, that was part of when I was they brought me to therapy and because everyone wanted to know why I'd always take my burgers and always eat them and chew them in the shape of a C. That's how I would do anything round like that. And if I did not do that in my mind as an 8-year-old, I thought I was going to get punished by God.
Oh, geez.
So I get the whole OCD food thing, man.
This is one of the top 10 commandments.
Well, I was 8. I didn't know.
Thou shalt bite burgers into crescent shapes.
You can see OCD people when it comes to eating big time because a lot of people, some people do that. They got to eat all one item before they eat another. Food can't touch. There's so many OCD things when it comes to food that, that's the problem for me is my little OCD thing gets me into eating a whole dang thing of ice cream. Like I would clean up the whole thing and be done with it.
And my OCD thing landed me in therapy. So we all got a song to sing.
Yeah. I kind of do the same thing when they got when you got a cereal or an ice cream that's got the big nuggets in it of something delicious and do you see how happy Fat Kevin looks right now? That's who's shining through. Yeah, then I wind up eating too much. I'm like, I'm just gonna eat that last little.
You love food. You're just a disciplined man.
Well, I was kind of reintroduced because I'm really being good. As far as I finally with my diet, I'm not gonna mess around. I'm not doing any kind of cheating and all that kind of stuff.
They came in here with Bluebell ice cream the other day, and Kevin didn't have any.
No, I didn't have any at all.
It was free.
I know.
Free ice cream just fell from the sky like a gift from above.
Kev's acting like a little biatch.
Well, you know what happened? I got sick. And it changed, it's almost like everything at a cellular level in Kev changed. And for a while, Fat Kev came out because I couldn't stomach the smell. I started to open up one of my quinoa dishes, and it was just the smell of whatever quinoa.
Quinoa.
Yeah, I felt like Jbird that one time. Remember when he was trying to eat the tofu and threw up?
He couldn't do it.
But you gave me the coldest, chunkiest tofu. You can do tofu and cut it up real fine.
Oh, you can make it taste good.
You can make it taste better.
I didn't make it taste good for you.
But I felt like you when I was nauseous there for 3 days straight, and the only thing I could eat was either ice cream or kind of candy, chocolate candy bars. I had to live on that for 3 days, and it was great because I almost felt like I had an excuse,
You did.
I was sad because on the Pontiki they had really good pizza. And I could only eat small pieces because I was afraid I was going to yak it up on the boat. I really wanted to explore that thing.
They had great food on the Pontiki.
I know. That's the worst. When I almost went into sudden death. I almost ate more of it.
It's good enough. All right, just to let you know, somebody said the Milano cookies with a glass of chocolate milk is absolutely amazing. I could do that all day long. Cookies gets away from you. Cookies is problematic because of how they're packaged. I used to have that with Oreos. Anybody who has an Oreo issue, or a sleeve of Girl Scout cookies. You get on that, and you always do that justification. You start eating it, and you're going, oh, okay, well, I'm going to do that. And
I'm helping the Girl Scouts.
Well, it's I get through it, I'm going, oh, gosh, you ate half, you put away. I'm going, yeah, but you're almost already done. What are you going to do, put away just 4 cookies? So then
you can't put half a sleeve back.
Right, what makes sense in that?
The one that gets me, and it's the quickest way for me to get weight on my body within, a matter of weeks, Krispy Kreme donuts. The kind that are just your basic with the frosting on top.
Yeah.
Glazed.
I can eat 50 glazed donuts and be okay in 2 hours to eat more. I'm not even kidding.
You know the weird thing about it, I don't love them, but when you're talking about just food that you got to watch out, it's dangerous about binging, donut holes. I don't necessarily love donut holes. Like, they're okay, but I've had that where they're in a bag and they're just, I don't know what it is. You get in a groove. There's some foods, and I think chips are sometimes that way, Pringles are that way, and you get like in a rhythm. And it's just good, and you're like, after a while, you're like, going, you ever had there and go, why am I eating this? Like, what am I doing? Like, I don't even know that I'm loving this. I just can't stop.
A thick, salty potato chip when you're like sitting in bed watching a show that you like.
You get in a groove.
And you got a family-size bag.
You know what I think? A weird thing? I think you almost hypnotize yourself. You ever have that? Where you're like in a zombie state, and your hand is going down and throwing stuff in your pile, and after a while, you're like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing
this? It's
this?
so comfortable.
I know.
I love it.
What you have to watch out for, okay, let's say you haven't had your first meal of the day. I don't eat breakfast, so by the time I get home, that's when I start to get hungry, more like the early afternoon. If you haven't eaten and you just attack the donuts and all of like the junky stuff, that's how you get overweight.
If you skip meals, you will find that you attack whatever it is you get. And if the first thing you get your hands on is potato chips, you're a dunzo. You're going to eat the whole bag.
Talk about that big chip again, how you just said that. That was the sexiest thing you've ever said.
Rocco makes me get family size bag because he can read the word family size and he loves family size. Get the family size. Get the family size.
Right.
So in the Publix, I will get the family size because he insists on it. But then he'll have like 3 chips. Meanwhile, I'll take down the whole bag.
I will always get the family size with everything, and I'm the only one in the family eating it. So
that's the problem.
Look at you listening to the KVJ show on 97.9 WRMF. Lucky.
I was kind of reading this email about Miranda Lambert that somebody had sent me.
It's so good. Yeah, I like the feistiness on this chick.
She's very interesting. She's a country star, big old country star. She was married to Blake Shelton, who you know is now with Gwen Stefani. But the thing that they were talking about in this email, be like, oh my gosh, be like, we can't really talk about it because, we're on a country station, all that kind of stuff. But, oh man, Miranda Lambert, what a hot mess.
I kind of feel like she crosses over a little bit. People know who she is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like what they were talking about here in this email, that the story we were talking about with Miranda Lambert, she popped up in the news because, she dumped a salad on somebody?
Yeah, she was with her man, and they were in a restaurant, and there was an altercation between her man and some other dude, and then she got involved. She's not going to sit quiet.
She's a redneck woman.
She dropped a salad in somebody's lap, and it got ugly, and then they fled the scene before the cops got there, which is smart.
Well, and everybody, kind of want to know because she had been married to Blake Shelton. What had gone on there? Was there any kind of infidelity? What broke up that whole marriage? But they were just talking about Miranda Lambert apparently has a thing for married dudes.
Really?
Yeah. That's what they were saying.
Is it true, though?
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think some of you can go back and find out. Now, they'd said, and I guess it's common knowledge, the guy that she's with now, the guy she just married.
Brendan.
Yeah. Well, when she met him, it was November 2nd in New York City. So she's only known this guy for 3 months. And apparently, at the time, in the night that she met him, this guy, Brandon, had just had a baby with his wife.
Ew.
So he's a married new father, meets Miranda Lambert. See ya, fam. I'm going to take off and go have me a country wife. And apparently even before that, Miranda's previous boyfriend was married when she met him.
Uh-oh.
He got a divorce. And then she actually met this guy while she was dating another country star, Anderson East. And then apparently there were maybe a couple dudes that she had cheated on Blake Shelton with. So
yeah, everyone in the chat room is saying, oh, yeah, Miranda's shady. She's a house wrecker.
Wow. Yeah, so they said, we can't go into too much detail on it.
I mean, if you had just had a baby and then all of a sudden you're getting with that person.
Yeah, I think they're talking about a total of at least 4 married dudes that she's had pretty well-known flings with. And so it's like, I guess she's got a type.
Maybe. But now she's married this Brendan guy, the one that she got into a fight with in the restaurant and dumped the salad. That guy is a New York City cop.
Right.
And apparently they're going to be just going back and forth. He's not quitting his job.
Oh, jeez.
She's not moving out of Tennessee. So
No, it's going to last.
Wow. That's crazy, huh?
It is crazy.
So, yeah, he's like, that's pretty interesting
They
story.
just met in November.
Yeah, and maybe
It is February, y'all.
Right. But even just aside from that, maybe there's just some people that I don't know what it is. There are just some women. We talked about this before. There's some women that just like married guys.
And I think it's terrible.
It's
it really is.
Yeah, because it blows your mind. You're like, why?
And
what are you doing?
I've heard people try to say that woman, if a woman breaks up a marriage, that they're the victim and you got to feel bad for her. I'm sorry. If you know what you're doing and you're going into a married relationship and then you blow that up, you are wrong too.
Right. I hear you. Crazy stuff.